This episode of the Rooster Teeth podcast is brought to you by...
That was awesome.
Did I telegraph that enough?
Welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast, the first live streaming podcast ever.
In the history of the internet, we are the first ever live streaming podcast.
After 3 decades of our podcast, we are finally going live
3
streaming.
decades?
Yeah.
2 decades.
2 decades.
2 decades.
Well, it depends. Mine calendar, maybe 3 decades.
Yeah.
I actually had a good idea for a shirt, which was the Rooster Teeth podcast, defiantly casting pods in 3 decades. We got to make that shirt.
We should.
I tried to see if I could get a Defiantly shirt made in time for the podcast. Didn't happen. Just a shirt that says Defiantly, and that's it.
You were there during that podcast.
I was. Were you awake during that podcast?
So was every single person on the fucking planet.
You know what? I kind of regret that whole discussion about Defiantly on Twitter because that has turned my entire Twitter feed into people just posting Defiantly posts to me.
Oh,
yeah.
Gus, congratulations. I know you worked really hard on getting this thing set up.
A lot of people worked real hard.
Yeah, but you bitched the most about it.
I bitched the most and I complain a lot.
You should have a beer.
But yes,
Cheers.
I have a beer in celebration.
Oh,
yeah, there we go. Oh, look.
I love earlier we were in here and Barbara was like, I love how all of the work for the podcast happened on the last day.
Okay.
I was like, fuck you.
Okay.
Fuck you.
I know it wasn't all the work that happened on the last day, but it seemed like today it was like, oh shit, we got to get the audio
You know
going.
why? Because today's the day we have to go.
Okay, that's a good point.
You know,
Touche.
that is true about anything in production. We always say it takes as long as we have, and that's how long it takes to get something done. Because if we ever finish it on Monday and like it's not due till Friday, we're still going to spend Monday through Friday working on the thing and making it better.
Yeah, well, for example, like the ultimate example here for the podcast is with, 10 minutes till we went live, we were worried about the lighting for the rocks
There's
down
rocks.
here at the bottom of the table. Yeah. You can only see it in the wide angle shot.
What do the rocks do?
They're just there for luck, for decoration.
No, they're weighing down this cabinet in front of us, obviously.
Yes.
This thing otherwise would just float right off.
But I mean, it's just like that. That's the kind of things you worry about. It's like until you're ready to go, until it has to go out the door, you're like tweaking little
That's
things.
when everyone becomes critical and nitpicky.
What's that?
Is last minute.
Oh, fuck. We'll change everything on the fly anyway. My favorite part about it is that it upsets you. And you stomp around here upset and act like you're not upset. And then we all ask you 1,000 times if you're upset.
The best thing is, like, I've been looking at some of the monitors while we're setting up and just seeing the test close-ups on Gus's face.
It looks so miserable.
Make a comment and then he'll just be like,
I think we had a 4-hour discussion about fucking mannequins.
And look at them. Look at them. They look great.
Mannequins.
They got cut after fucking 4 hours of
they were
arguing.
up, and then they had shirts on all of a sudden, and they were wearing army fatigues, and they had Minecraft heads, and now they're gone.
The problem is that they were naked mannequins. So there was a debate where, do we want them to be naked? Do we want them to be clothed? We had the female one behind me.
There's no such thing as a naked mannequin.
Thank you.
What does that mean?
You know, like just not
An unclothed
with anything
mannequin?
on it.
Okay, we're gonna get another discussion about genitalia, which is too much. It's too much with the genitalia.
So we were.
What do you mean him?
everyone
It's just me.
has genitals.
Very good. Very good, Gavin. Everyone has genitals.
So Barbara
That's
and I-
right up there with people like grapes.
People like grapes. I was just gonna say that one.
Barbara and I were in Philadelphia this weekend, and the #1 comment about the podcast was, "Tell Gavin to stop talking about his penis." Like, I had multiple people say, "Why does Gavin always talk about his penis?"
I said this to Gavin today. I said, all you do is talk about dicks all day. He goes, what are you talking about? I rattled off in the last week 10 things he talked about or posted online that had to do with dicks.
I feel like he doesn't talk about, I feel like you don't talk. I'm on your side on this
I
one.
honestly feel like I don't.
No,
I'm not dick heavy.
Average number of
Dick heavy.
Well, that's
conversations.
Okay,
another
how do I
story.
request a beverage? Can I have
you want a beverage?
Yes, please.
Also, one thing I want to point out about this one right here is that if you leave a goddamn whiteboard with nothing on it, she comes along with her sweet little face and draws dicks all over the thing.
What, Lindsay does that out there. Have you seen
Well,
like one there?
but the thing with Barbara is she doesn't just draw dicks. She draws really angry dicks. Stop doing that.
Not angry dicks, detailed dicks.
Do you
Detailed, girthy, veiny.
Oh God, Jesus.
It's even more disgusting than you're imagining.
No,
Yeah.
we've talked about the time when we had the tour come through, right? And we had this family, this really nice, sweet mom, and there was a whiteboard there.
That was before
Barbara
I was hired.
had destroyed with penises.
It was RTX last year.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
before I was actually hired. There was a giant whiteboard in I want to say the kitchen, and it was completely blank. And I was like, I'm just gonna
Not for
fill
long.
this entire whiteboard with dicks because it was completely blank,
So-
and I was there for a week.
Because you see a blank whiteboard and you're thinking, well, that obviously needs that penis.
Well, I
on it.
wasn't doing anything all week, so I needed something.
So we had this discussion because there's a whiteboard in there for scheduling we actually record this in the annex, which is where we do most of our live action stuff.
Yeah.
And it's Brandon's office, and Lindsay and Chris are in there, and Kyle in there as well. Hi, Kyle. And somebody had this whiteboard, and sure enough, somebody drew a dick on it. And I blamed you, and you said it wasn't you, it was Lindsay. And it turns out Lindsay drew a flaccid penis ejaculating. I said that's totally incorrect. And then we find out as part of that discussion, Gavin, it was 2 steps deep, but Gavin said he didn't know that men get erections in their sleep. He didn't know that happened.
Not in any way true.
What did you say then?
I said, no, you said you can't,
I said it's the
spooge yourself unless you have a boner.
right.
That's
And I'm saying,
it's a medical podcast now.
and I'm
If
saying
the
that,
boner does not exist, there is no spooging.
that
I did
might
say
not
that.
necessarily be true. But
That sounds like computer science now.
You're You're steering this
or-
conversation back onto my penis. I'm gonna have to talk about my penis.
This is on topic. This is part of the topic.
Oh
Gavin.
god. Is there any way we can get Gus
How
to
do you
spew?
not know
Swallow.
that
Beautiful.
men get erections in their sleep?
I do know, and I know the reason. It's so you don't piss yourself in your sleep.
It's not
What?
true.
It's true, because when you have a rock on, you can't pee easily. Like, it's like a valve that like swings over. It's like spunk
So
or piss.
how do women keep from pissing themselves at night?
like get a clit on or something? I don't know.
Jesus
But what
Christ.
you can't.
I'm
I think
not-
Barbara knows way more about male
Yeah.
anatomy than you know about female anatomy.
You can tell just by my drawings.
I'm gonna bet.
You can't. Yeah.
What? Well, you can't. What can't you do?
But you can't pee if you have a boner.
I can.
I can.
How do you do it?
You can totally pee if you have a boner.
Yeah,
the
it's-
problem with
It's just
peeing with a
right?
boner is the angle. That's the only thing that's a problem. It's
Nah,
trying
it's
to-
not. It's right. It's not. It's there's a valve in there.
Don't
or
you just
something.
kind of just tease it downwards?
You don't know anything.
You
Shut
know.
up. He's
don't.
making
No,
sense
really
at this
don't.
point.
I just draw
think-
them, that's it.
I honestly think that when you have a rock on in the night, it's so you don't just have a dream and pee.
You know, your body. Have I ever talked about this before? Your body goes through a process where, when you're sleeping, it will paralyze your body. It's like your gross motor functions are paralyzed while you're sleeping. It's so like when you have a dream and you're running, you don't start running in your bed and start lashing out.
Some people do.
You talked about that thing where you wake up and your body won't move.
And I
right?
have that. So I wake up
that's so
before
messed up.
before the paralysis wakes off, and I have sleep paralysis I get sometimes.
Did you ever see
That's
that video
freaky.
clip of the dog
Yes.
that's running in its sleep
Oh,
and then
yeah.
gets up
Yeah.
and runs into a wall?
Like it's full on running on the ground while it's sleeping, and then it like stands up and runs into a wall.
You know they say you're not going to wake someone up if they're sleepwalking.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Why is that?
I think they think it's.
I think it's an old wives' tale. I don't think there's any
I
truth
don't think
to that.
that's true either. What
Maybe-
is it about also, like, that feeling of falling when
Yeah.
you're sleeping? What is that?
I
Is
don't
that
know.
just you dreaming?
I don't know. It's your body just probably reacting like.
Because that will wake you up every time.
You think your body would fucking react to itself shutting down? Like that's
Yeah.
a weird thing.
Should we test the video portion of our podcast and see if this thing works?
The dog
Sure, let's
running?
play the
All
dog
right,
running
I've
in
got,
his
I've got
sleep.
the dog running in his sleep here.
Full screen it though, so we don't
All
go.
right. I don't know how. we can-
All right.
All right.
Gonna show up.
Is this gonna show up?
Oh.
Oh, there it
we
is.
go. And here we go. So that dog is clearly asleep.
Or dead.
Yeah. There goes the foot. Yeah.
Oh,
He's thinking about it.
oh, it sees him. See something.
There's a rabbit. There's a rabbit. He's,
This is a much longer video than I remember it being.
There he goes. There. Oh, he's getting that rabbit. I was like, what? Then boosh!
I forgot it bangs his head into the wall.
That's a boner!
Oh, you gotta do slow.
So,
Wow, that bug on that video is stupidvideos.com. Do you
That's
remember
his
that?
tail gun.
no.
We used to watch. You can go to that. It like had a TV on the site, and you would just click little videos, and they would just run all day.
Jesus.
It was one of the
Wow.
like pre-YouTube.
I like that slow motion sound.
How many views are on that? Look at that real quick. How many views are on that thing?
That thing has 1.8
Wow.
million views. 1.88 million views.
Not
How
bad.
hard would we work to make a 1.8 million view video? God, they just put up a thing about dogs running into a wall.
Dude, so the internet has killed shows like America's Funniest Home Videos, right? Like
Pretty much.
Earlier today,
I would hope
we
so.
watched like 45 minutes of just a fail compilation.
That was
And
fun.
That was fun. It was
always-
hilarious.
When's the last time you saw an episode of America's Funniest Home Videos?
I watch it all the time.
I still do.
Really?
And the interesting thing to me is they still have that promo when they cut the commercial. It's like, if you have a funny video, send it to us by mail to our PO box, or upload it to our website. And it still says if you want your videotape back, include $3.90 or $4.20 for
Is it really?
for shipping and
We're
handling.
still sending in tapes.
It's like,
when
who the
it's digital.
fuck are? I guess it's the people who aren't watching these videos on the internet.
That's true.
They still are recording things on VHS. Remember VHS-C?
Yep. It
The
was a
fucking-
VHS. It was compact VHS.
And it fit into the bigger VHS cartridge.
Right.
Yeah.
They like came with like a little cartridge.
You've
that
never
you put
seen
your
this?
tapes into.
It's so fucking dumb.
I was moving some stuff around my house and I found a whole box full of Digital 8 cassettes. Do you remember those?
I
Yeah.
do, because good luck finding something that can play those now.
Yeah, you have to buy like a handy cam that will play digital 8.
I have
and then
one.
Good luck getting one.
I have
Exactly.
one of those.
No, I've got hundreds of hours of tape on digital 8 that I probably will never see again.
You'd
so.
be better off like figuring out a way to play it on an Atari 2600 at this point.
Actually, one of the tapes I found was from my performance when I worked at the Great Movie Ride in Disney World. So it was like actually me giving my show at Disney World. So
Do you
I gotta
think you
figure
would
out so many
remember
of
your
them.
speech?
If
Oh,
you
God, here we
if you gave me
Gus,
if
here
you gave me a
goes the
day,
rest of the goddamn podcast.
Here you go. Let's talk about Disney and
Let's
Orlando.
go. Jay, we get Jack started on
Hey.
Disney. It's fucking
I'm just
over.
curious if
We've
he
talked about it
remembers
for a
his
year.
like little shtick that he did.
I was gonna say if you give me the script and give me about 4 hours, I could probably.
What about
remember.
Well,
Jack's little shtick?
Hey.
And we're back to
What I just
penises.
heard, it was take you 4 hours to read a page of dialogue?
No, to memorize it.
Oh, I see.
Like to get it back, like again.
I bet you could do it.
I bet
maybe.
if you looked at it once, you'd be good to go.
No,
I
don't
feel
think
like I
that
missed
was,
out.
That was a decade ago.
Missed out on what?
I feel like my
Yeah.
generation just missed like high definition babies. Like all the videos of me as a kid are like mushy, crappy
Yeah.
VHS. If I was born like 10 years later, it would have been good.
I
Yeah,
can
but-
tell you,
Chris-
I lived through the era when we went from everyone having film cameras to everyone having. What are you laughing about that? It's not a big deal.
Asshole.
To having everyone going to digital, and it's just like kind of like the mobile phones with the flashes now. They're just shitty. The pictures then were just shitty. They were like 1 megapixel cameras or like half a megapixel cameras, and so for like 2 years, all your pictures were shitty, and then they got great when DSLRs
Yeah,
came out.
there was that good stage on TV as well where everything was shot on film and then video came out and
Yep.
the first video just looked like crap and then the video got better. But there was a period where like the old stuff looks better than the new stuff and then it looks good again.
If you ever watch like a football game from the 80s,
Yeah.
Oh,
like the
God.
titles are awful, it just
Oh
looks
my
terrible.
God.
And everything's,
but then
like,
when you look from the
smeared.
60s, it's all film and it looks fucking
Yeah,
badass.
and it's narrated by that badass dude.
Yeah, it's
And
so
you
great.
can rescan all the film in high def now. Like all the old stuff. Like they did that with all the Bond movies and they look like they were shot yesterday.
I've seen
Crazy.
some. I think I saw an episode of Seinfeld that someone had done an HD transfer on, and it looked awesome.
Yeah.
Did it really?
Yeah.
As nerdy as it is, they redid all the Next Generation episodes.
They had to
in
redo the
HD.
visual effects for that.
Yeah,
Like they
yeah.
have a special feature on that Blu-ray that shows the episode like with the original effects as it aired, and then the remastered high def effects.
Yeah.
It's
Well, 'cause
really
you,
awesome.
You can't upscale the crappy visual
Right.
effects.
It's
So
just
they-
it's like Halo C Anniversary. You just hit back and it flips it back over to the old one.
I don't think it's that
Pretty cool.
robust.
Yeah. I bet that stuff though for Star Trek, like there's some things that they could probably just crowdsource that, like put the shot online and then fans would make it and make it better today, you
Wait,
know?
You saw
Yeah.
that 3 seconds of Star Wars, where they remade all of Star Wars and everyone got like 3 or 5 second clips.
Oh right.
Yeah, and they went through and pieced together the whole movie in
Yeah,
5 second
yeah.
clips.
So you
fucking
could
cool.
send in I think 5 seconds of Star Wars, any 5 seconds. And you
no,
could film it any way
you
you
had to
want
go sign up for a 5 second. They had
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had to sign up and pick one.
And like some of it was animation, some of it was like kids in their backyard,
Yeah.
some of it was just like dudes at
Some was
community
like
college.
Yeah, some was like crazy production value.
Right.
and-
And it just went from one to the next.
yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Do you know that Joe Nicolosi is the guy who made, he's here in Austin, he's the guy who made the Star Wars with the girl telling Star Wars?
Oh yeah.
really?
The little
Perspective?
girl, like the 4-year-old?
No,
No, like college girl, right?
It was a college girl, yeah, or
Oh.
so that age.
'Cause that was fucking
yeah.
cute, a
And that was Joe
4-year-old.
Nicolosi. He's the guy, if you ever saw it, he directed that cat video that I was in, where
Oh.
I worked for Kittywood Studios.
The one where you look like you're like 12 pounds?
That was, Barb, that was like a year ago.
That
yeah.
you look like a completely different person in that,
That was
video.
that was when somebody told me I looked too skinny, and I took their word for it. I'm not gonna do that again. So.
So you were just at the Emmys this past weekend.
Yeah, seriously.
Dude.
Are you
Yeah,
gonna
that
spill
was
the
fun.
beans about what happened?
Yeah.
Sure. So
Mr.
what do you want to know?
Aronofsky.
So I got tickets to the Emmys, 2 tickets to the Emmys, and I went out to LA. I actually got to go to San Francisco first, and I went to go visit Twitter. Our
That's
friend
cool.
April, who works at Twitter, I stopped by and saw her, and there's a lot of fucking people that work at Twitter.
Did you get?
How many people?
Did you go in the morning? Did you get to eat breakfast at Twitter?
I ate lunch, and it was insane. It was like
Did you tweet about it?
I tweeted from within Twitter's headquarters. I felt like I had to do that.
So meta.
I know, right?
You should have taken a picture of your breakfast at Twitter and posted it.
Send it to Instagram.
It'd be great if you tweeted from Twitter and if someone walked down, found you, and slapped you across the face. That was like their job, was to find people tweeting within Twitter.
It would be great if you actually hit tweet there and somebody goes, "I'll take that." You hand it to him like in a cart, and he rolls it over, puts it in the machine. There it goes.
There you go. There's your tweet.
But yeah, but that was pretty cool. But it was like Twitter's in like this normal building in the middle of downtown San Francisco, but it's weird because the elevators have no buttons. So it's like this old like Art Deco building, but it's like got these super, it's almost like a spy thing where it's like there's a guy there, the elevator doors open for you and they tell you where you're going. They say,
Whoa.
get in the elevator to the left. And then you get in and it goes, you are being taken to the 7th floor. It's like no fucking option.
Is there like one elevator for each floor?
I don't know.
They probably tell it from the front security desk what floor to go to. Like when you sign in, they know where you're
You
going.
think it's
That's-
a security reasons or
That's just effort.
It was
yeah.
badass.
Just put buttons on it.
It was pretty cool.
Just put buttons on it.
But it was.
You of all people, I would think it'd be
So
cool with
didn't, you,
that.
didn't
You're
your
like, I don't
car
have to push a button.
Didn't your car get towed while you were there?
Fuck, that was so stupid. Yeah, I was in San Francisco for like 20 minutes.
I
But I
read-
actually don't know how many people are at Twitter. I know we went to lunch and there was a ton of people that worked there.
Yeah,
Like, their cafeteria is probably big as everything that we have, like our 2 buildings. Like,
How many people would you say?
I have no clue. I'm so bad at that. I can't do distances.
Over 1,000?
And I can't do groups of people.
So like 20?
I say with this, probably as many people. It looked like as many people as we had on the shot that we did downtown at RTX.
Wow.
Jesus.
Well, that was the crazy thing about RTX, right? We've been to tons of conventions where they say there's 80,000 people here, there's 120,000 people here. We had about 4,500, 5,000 people at RTX. That was a ton of people. That filled that convention
That
center.
seemed like way more than 4,500.
Based on
people.
numbers I'd heard before of events we've been to.
Well, it could have easily been a 50,000 person event, and I would have never known.
Well, I think
Yeah.
a lot of times people or event organizers, they count what they call turnstiles.
Right.
So you have 4,500 attendees, and if they walk into the convention hall twice, you have 9,000.
Sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's dumb.
it's really dumb.
I
that
also
is
think people at RTX probably came both days.
Yeah.
And other conventions, maybe people don't.
yeah, that's
You know.
true.
Well, we only had a weekend pass. We didn't have like break it down by the day.
Yeah.
Well, it's also weird. Like we were in what, Toronto for Fan Expo.
Yeah.
There was like what, 60 or 70,000 people
No, I
there?
think it's closer to 100. I think
Yeah,
it's
and it's
80
like
or 90.
it didn't seem that crowded at all. Like to me, it felt. I mean, it was busy, but it didn't feel like holy crap. There's 100,000 people.
I think
here.
it's a mix between we had a really good space in the convention hall. Like we had like giant aisles all around
Yeah.
us. And I don't know, maybe it's just a bigger
Plus, they're
hall.
Canadian. They're like 0.6 of an American.
They
and
kinda like
they're really polite.
stand to
They're
the
so
side.
I'm always convinced that there's a secret place where most people go at those conventions. Like, do you remember we were at VidCon and we were just hanging out in this area with all the booths and stuff, and then you just found like a hallway that is a massive, great big screen, like thousands of seats. We're like, oh, jeez, I didn't even know this was here. And
That
there's,
really
like, thousands of
recontextualized
people in there.
VidCon for us. VidCon is not a convention. VidCon's a show, and they
I didn't
happen to
even
have
know.
a convention around it.
Did they have the esports arena stage that we had at RTX?
Not the same one,
VidCon?
but
But
they
like a
had
similar
one. Yeah,
thing?
Machinima had one there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, I went to San Francisco, and I rented a car for like one day. So I was going to be there a total of like maybe 18 hours. So I land in San Francisco, get my car, drive straight to the hotel. It looked like normal parking. There were cars parked there. I parked there. I read, there's 4 fucking different signs telling you when you can park and when you can't. And then this is the thing that really threw me off. There was meters, parking meters. So I fed my parking meter, checked the times were okay, and then I went inside, I came out, car's gone. Literally 20 minutes I was in San Francisco, they towed away my car, okay?
Oof.
And then I find out I was in a commercial zone. What kind of fucking commercial zone has meters?
Parking meters,
They have
yeah.
commercial meters.
And no sign saying like this is a commercial zone. Don't.
So here's
fucking
where the
park
sign
here.
was for that. I was looking at the meter. The sign that said this is a commercial zone, don't park in here without a commercial permit from the MTRA or whatever it is in San Francisco. It was a sticker on the pole of the
that
parking
sucks.
So
meter.
it was like the curb was painted yellow then.
That is correct.
Yes.
But it was like,
Yes, that is correct.
I laugh. Well, I have to admit, I'm a bad person. I saw you tweet that you were in San Francisco for 20 minutes and you got your car towed, and I laughed. It was so fucking funny to me. I was like, that.
Gus loves when shit happens to other people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because that's one of my fears. Is when, like I travel enough, where it's like I don't want to ever get my car towed when I'm on a trip.
Right.
And it happened to you. And I was like, I was so fucking happy.
and the theft detection was going off in the car for the rest of the time I had it. But
Oh.
get this. So I go the car was towed like 2 blocks. And they said, everyone told me, because they've all had their car towed apparently in San Francisco, the longer it's in there, they start charging you by the hour. So I went immediately get the car. What do you think it costs to get my car to Impound for like 10 minutes?
$120.
I would have guessed 80.
250.
You're getting closer.
I know.
Jeez.
$510.
Oh shit!
510. Think about what percentage of a car that is. I mean, significant.
10 minutes?
$510?
Just from getting towed. And I think when I went to get my car out of being towed, I went to the lot. The guy walked me to my car. There's a ticket on it. I don't even get to get out of the ticket. I just have to go pay an $85 ticket now. So it might be upwards of $600.
Jesus Christ! What kind of car was it?
What does that matter? It's a Buick.
No, it's like it was a nice car or like a crappy car.
I
think
paid.
I
Was it cloudy?
I paid
important.
$60 to rent it for the
Oh.
day, and to get it back, I had to pay now $595.
So if that happens with a cars to go car, can you just go and get another one?
I think you're still liable for it unless you checked out. Like if you're still checked into the car, you need to get it back and
How do you
check
check
out.
out?
There's
I'm teasing, by the way.
there's like an on-screen little computer that you touch.
So you could just walk into the pound place, and then just
Here,
check out and then walk out.
Yeah, but they'll know that it was towed while it was checked out for
You
you.
can't be like walking, you
if it
see it getting towed away, and you're like, oh, check out. It's like let it roll
Towed
off.
after you checked out.
Then you're fine. Well, unless you left it in an illegally parked spot.
Right.
How do they know?
And
responsible.
they'll know. It's got GPS in it.
So this is, we've talked about this before, and I can actually show it now.
Make
This
sure
is my-
to
this
point
is
your
my
credit card to the camera.
Yeah, watch that. This is my Cars to Go card. So that's what we use. You just put this on the window or the windshield of the car, and it beeps, and then that gives you the car.
It's the part of the audio podcast
So-
that people listen to, like, God.
They're gonna be so furious, yeah.
Absolutely.
So I
We'll
used,
figure it out.
I,
We'll
used,
figure it out.
I used Car2Go the other day for the first time, and I walked up, used it. I went to a restaurant, picked up some food, came back, parked it, then walked into my house. I was like, oh shit, I forgot my drink in the car. So I went back out with my card. I just opened it, grabbed my drink, closed it, and that was it. And the next morning they called me and they said, oh, we see that your reservation didn't close properly, so the car was checked out to you all night.
Oh.
But they said, but we know that you didn't use it again, so we won't charge you for any of that.
Oh, wow.
That's
Good.
nice.
I was like, oh, okay.
So you didn't close the reservation when you went to go get the drink.
But I never reopened it. Like I opened the door, I grabbed my drink,
That's it.
and then the computer said, enter your PIN. I didn't enter my PIN or do anything else. I
you
just
still use your
closed the
card.
door.
There's something to be said about good customer service. Like even like I was tweeting about Nest. Like I was flying back from somewhere and I mentioned that it was awesome that I could turn on my air conditioning at home through
That's that
Nest.
little thing you have.
Yeah, it's my little like hockey puck thing. It's awesome. And I tweeted about it, and then sure enough, like the actual Nest account on Twitter responded to me. They're like, they looked at my account, and they realized like that I did video game stuff, and they said achievement unlocked. Congratulations! I was like,
Yeah,
that's
the
awesome.
The reason for that is, especially with Twitter, people are like dedicated to just being really good with customer service on Twitter for companies like that. So there's always one person like responding and
No,
replying to all that
that's
stuff.
great to see. I love that kind of stuff. Like I love that we live in a society
If
like
they
that.
can do something.
Well, I mean, even just giving you like a pat on the back is like nice to know.
When I got into my big fight with Bank of America over my mortgage, they tried to help me via Twitter. They reached out like,
Oh, no.
we can help you. No, they couldn't help me. Those assholes couldn't do a goddamn thing.
No.
They just want to respond and make you feel better in some
Yeah,
way.
so like we
They
direct
get a
message a
tweet.
few times. They're like, you should call this number. Like, that's the number I'm having problems with. Oh, well, send an email here. Like, I already did that.
Speaking of good customer service, on the flip side of that, bad customer service, you and I agree that we both like flying out in the afternoons, right?
Yes.
Like whenever you go somewhere, you fly in the afternoon. When was the last time you flew out in the afternoon for something and had all of your flights be on time?
Pretty regular.
See, like it seems like every time I leave somewhere at night, I almost always end up getting a late flight or a push delay, like 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours.
Well, it's
something
more
like that.
likely because the planes coming in and connecting are delaying. More likely to delay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it seems like every damn time I go on a flight. Like I was coming back from Philadelphia this weekend, and my flight from Dallas to Austin was 2 hours delayed. That's Dallas to Austin. That's a 3-hour drive. I don't understand how it could be 2 hours late on that.
Well, the plane might be coming from St. Paul or something
guess
like
so.
that.
We had a
My
thing
flights were
recently
great.
where our flight back we were in LA for something. Our flight back was delayed a little bit, so we went and hung out in the Admiral's. What's that place called?
It's the Admiral's
That's
Club.
where we
Yeah.
were at the Machinima party.
Yeah.
And we were just hanging out there. I guess our plane boarded and we didn't realize, and there were people like running around trying to find us, and they
Yeah.
eventually found us like, get on the plane. And we were just like casually strolling up. They're like, oh, and they like open the door. It's like, wait, and they're like opening the door, and we were like just strolling on. And we have to walk past everyone. My chair was right at the back, and they're like,
Didn't that happen to you at Comic Con where Michael and Chris strolled onto the plane and they were like sipping smoothies?
It was New York Comic Con last year, yeah. Like the door was closing at the last second. They stopped closing the door, and Michael and Chris walk on. They're drinking smoothies, walking down the aisle
I wanted to
together.
punch him. But I sat down in my seat, and a woman behind me like leant up, like put her hands on the back of my chair and goes, "What took you so long?" And I was like, "Oh, we're just hanging out in the Admiral's Lounge."
You hate
I was getting free alcohol.
you hate any kind of
Oh.
American to talk to plane.
Cameo.
Experienced by Joe
the cat.
First
The
and
chat
hopefully
is
last
probably
appearance.
freaking out right now.
That cat.
It's a good cat.
He's a good cat.
Do the pendulum.
We discussed today that Joe the cat will let you pretty much do anything to him.
Joe the
My
cat.
favorite,
that is a
my
cat.
favorite trick is this.
Again, the audio podcast is gonna be loving this.
Was it like that?
There you go. There you go.
People sit
Long
like
cat
that for
is long.
hours.
You
Barbara,
should
give him a belly rub.
Turn him around so his face is
Give him a
facing.
belly rub. Goes happy. And then the other one is my other favorite is the pendulum. That's his face. He'll just let you do it
There
for
you go.
hours.
There's the wide shot. Yeah, there you go.
His face, man. He just doesn't.
He's the most relaxed cat in the entire world, man.
How did you get him like? That's the perfect cat. I don't
So
know why-
what I did with Joe was
Look at him. He's
his tail's in.
And so he doesn't pee.
what I did with Joe is when I got him, I just held him every single day forever, so now anybody can hold him. Like he's the only cat I know that you can pass from person to person, and he doesn't freak out at all.
Just pass him like a toy.
Yep, he's a good guy.
He's a good cat.
Joe's a good cat.
He doesn't like Gus because Gus keeps scaring him away from the.
He has one
podcast.
fatal flaw.
He
He
does.
likes to scratch furniture.
He does.
No, we talked about it. So I said, why don't we get him declawed? And Gus was like, well, that's really cruel. But they actually,
declaw a cat.
they have new techniques now. They're like not painful for cats.
Don't chop a cat's claws off.
It's like chopping off the fingers of a person.
well, they chop the knuckle.
The knuckles, right?
Yeah, well, imagine if you just had the pad of your hand and no
Yeah.
fingers. That's what it is.
Don't do that to cats.
Sucks,
No,
man.
I'm not going to. I'm saying it's
But that's the
less
thing.
it's less painful now than it used to be
But that's
because
the
like they
thing
have like
that's-
laser technology.
I'm pretty sure it's illegal in the UK to do it, but
Really?
over here it's just like declaw your cut your cats.
Jack,
out.
I think you're missing the point, though. I mean, if someone told you they could take your fingers off and it wouldn't hurt, you still wouldn't want to do it, right?
Well, I mean, cats they're not operating vehicles. They're not doing anything with their fingers.
Don't have feelings.
They're not playing video games.
They're not playing Minecraft 10 hours,
Yeah.
10 hours a day for a living.
No, I mean, I feel bad for him, but it's like if that means he's not going to be thrown out into the wild because he's clawing up.
We're not going to throw him out into the wild.
That's what you wanted to do. You want to get rid of
I
him.
wanted to kill him.
Oh, that's much better.
Yeah.
that's much better.
So we'll find.
PETA is not enjoying this podcast right now.
I will find Joe a home. Sorry, Joe. We're not talking about you.
So speaking of Philly, you and I were just at RT Philly.
We were just at RT
which was
Philly.
a community event that was really, really awesome.
It was. Our fans are awesome. Our fans are kick-ass.
Yeah.
I may have gotten a little drunk and sang "Old Apartment" by Meredith Ladies.
Did you
At
really?
a bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Barbara was holding my microphone for me for some reason.
I don't know why either.
Yeah, like we had a mic stand and they go, "Here, Barbara," and handed her the
Were you
mic.
double fisting?
to hold for me.
I was drinking and holding the mic.
No, I had the lyrics up on my iPhone, and then I don't know what was. I guess maybe I had alcohol in my other hand.
I think you did.
But I don't know. Apparently, there's video of it somewhere. I think someone took video.
I
of it, so
guarantee there's video of it
that's
somewhere.
probably
They played
true.
a lot of Bare Naked Ladies that night, including one week, which apparently I know quite a few lyrics
Really?
for.
Wow.
Surprisingly. I was
Chicken
like,
each China and the Chinese chicken.
Exactly.
I will say one of the most fun things I had happen to me while I was at RT Philly was at that same bar watching Roadblock, who's one of our community members.
Yeah.
He's an outspoken fan of Oklahoma. Watching him watch the OU versus K-State game
And watching them lose. Yeah.
That was
Was he
pretty
crying
awesome.
by the end?
He was quite sad, and everyone knew
Close.
that he was going to be sad. So
Now listen, you're talking about sports there.
I'm-
I
that's
know
all I'm
people
gonna
don't
say.
like when we talk about sports, but I got to say something, especially with people that I follow on Twitter because I follow a lot of tech people. It's like, can I just say, I get it that you don't like sports. I get it, you know? And so the people who are talking about football all day on Sunday, that's relevant. And the people who just show up on Sunday to talk about how they don't understand what's happening and they don't like football, who cares? Fuck off. I get me so sick of hearing that.
I'm like that when people call football hand egg.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
oh, it should be called hand egg. Like
Who says that?
I've never heard that.
I swear to God,
I've never
people
heard
do.
someone say that before.
Just search on Twitter for it. I mean, we
One-
can
one-
pop it
one-
up here. We have the internet.
so one thing on the internet.
No, that's boring. Why are you going to look that up? There's no point
well,
in
I'm saying
it.
we have something here.
Well, let's take one thing on the internet you would like to get rid of permanently. Hand egg.
Hand egg is something.
What would you
that
get rid of on
nuts.
the internet that people do constantly that you just like stop it?
I get meat spin by Ray a lot, so I just get rid of meat spin.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
I would never get rid of that.
Gus, you could probably go like 20 minutes on this. Barbara, what would you change?
I don't know. Probably the people asking for shout outs.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's always tough.
That's really, because it's like,
But-
we can't do that.
You always feel bad because it's like, oh, well, my brother just got back from Iraq and he lost a leg. He's a big fan of you guys. Can you just give him a shout out?
Well, you don't
Like,
know. Lots of times it's also people just making stuff
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Like you have to like wade through what's real and what's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, I always feel kind of like a dick, but I'm like, if we do it for you, we have to do it for everyone.
So this is a general shout out.
Yeah, shout out to
Everyone-
everyone who's ever asked for a shout out.
Shout
ever.
out, dude.
In the chat room, they're
Lady.
saying shout out to Meat Spin right now. So,
Shout out to Meat Spin.
Shout out to Meat Spin.
I want to remind everyone, this is my second ad placement here. I want to remind you, this podcast is brought to you
Let me
by...
ask you a question. Would you prefer to, like, it's a book that you want to read as opposed to a book like you feel like you should read? For instance, I feel like I should read 50 Shades of Grey because it's relevant.
You think so?
I think I should, you know? Or like with Steve Jobs' biography. I mean, I'm kind of interested, but not really. So I feel like I should read that book.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got that one. Yeah, that's the first one I listened to through Audible, actually.
Yeah, so I feel like I get like my necessity books on Audible.
I mean, it's like, what do you do? Like, for me, like in traffic, it's like, what am I gonna do? Just fucking get road rage and yell at someone, or chill out and listen to a book?
do you guys listen to our podcast?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't usually listen to it when I'm on it because I've already heard it once.
You're
so
a
it's
liar.
like, No, I mean it's just
I've
like
asked you about the podcast, and you're like, I don't know anything about that. But if it's when you're on, you're like, I know. all
I
about
listen
that.
to the
because I was
podcast.
on it and I would listen to the conversation because I'm in it.
I listen to the podcast that I'm on, and when I say something funny, I rewind it over and over again.
Do you?
Do you really? No.
You're so damn
It
honest.
doesn't
I do
seem
want to
like
talk
you.
about something.
Well, he doesn't say anything funny, so you don't have to rewind it.
Oh, he
What-
does.
Right, what is
Get
an egg?
aced.
An egg that you eat, what is that?
An
An
egg
unfertilized
is
chicken.
it's an amniotic sac.
It's unfertilized. Someone was arguing with me, like forcefully arguing with me, that my egg that I was eating could have become a chicken.
No.
It's not.
I think there are occasions where a fertilized egg will slip through,
Sure.
but I mean,
But you know it.
for the most part, they're unfertilized.
Yeah.
Have like
don't
a
have
beak in
roosters
there.
walking around
Right.
there. It's just hens, just
Right.
dropping eggs.
No, but he's right. Occasionally, a fertilized egg will show up in there, but you definitely know when you get one.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you?
It's
Why?
bloody.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get like a partially developed chicken
Oh,
in there.
like
You
a
never
little-
seen those pictures on the internet?
Well, like a
Tastes
little
delicious.
embryo fetus
Yeah.
situation.
Dude, the beak adds flavor.
Who are we having this
All I
argument
gotta
with?
say.
I have someone.
You know.
On Twitter, on your site.
No, in
where?
real life, face to face.
Okay.
So, have you ever watched an egg like being laid? It's kind of weird because they don't come out like they're not like solid.
Doesn't look like poop.
They're like liquid and then they form.
Oh,
And,
do they?
Yeah,
Are you
they
serious?
dry and
Which
form.
end do they
Yeah.
do first? The fat end or the?
I guess the fat end.
I would guess.
Do we want to bother like YouTubing that?
No, let's not.
I'm trying to
let's
think
not
the
put
way
that
it
up on the
comes
stream.
out.
That would not be good.
You would think thin to big, right? Like it would.
I would
I've never thought about this before.
or does it start like, or does it start big and then it's like whoop, and
It's
then
got
it
to
all
be
comes
big.
out?
I would think
I don't
big
wanna
to
imagine this.
no, small to big.
Yeah.
is it equivalent
like
to,
thin
like-
and like push and then it gets the rest of it out, or does it start out like the hard
No,
part?
I would think
and then-
small and then big.
That's what I'm thinking.
This is quality discussion.
Is it
Clearly.
equivalent to like a chicken's period? Is that what you're eating?
No, because don't chickens lay eggs every day?
They
Yeah, but-
they can, yeah.
But what is a period?
I think
Do you
yeah.
want me to
I think,
explain
I think
this
the
to you?
Flushing the egg
equivalent.
out, isn't it?
I think it's essentially the equivalent,
They
right?
just take down the walls, the egg comes out.
Your period is your uterus lining shedding.
Yeah, but the egg goes with it, doesn't it? They're directly related.
I don't
You
know.
don't just
I
squirt
have
it
not
out.
I
studied.
believe so.
You don't know?
Studied.
You really don't know what comes out in a period? You
No,
really
I don't know what the egg
the
chicken
Did you know?
shit is. I haven't studied chicken periods.
I haven't had nearly enough alcohol.
A
for
human
this
egg,
conversation.
like a people egg, you can see it.
Yeah, you can barely see it, I think,
Yeah.
without a microscope.
I always thought it was microscopic, but you can just have a human egg in your hand.
Yeah?
Gross.
Yeah, but I mean, what have you done to get to that point where you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, right there, there it is.
Yeah, that's a
Oh.
very uneventful morning that you start that activity. Like,
That would, by the way, be the sickest collection ever. Like a dude that just like collected people eggs.
You know, it'd be a really good pickup line. Hey, baby, you want me to scramble your eggs?
you know, I just all let that one marinate for a
wow.
while.
Yeah, just-
Oh, come on.
I hope I didn't see that. Bit.
Just so the podcast can see.
Just so there's an animated gift
Oh, no,
tomorrow of
sorry.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's Gavin. So
there
two
you go.
fingers, everybody. 2 fingers.
Two fingers.
Your fingers look a bit splayed there.
One's you are from Britain, so. But we were talking earlier about memory and how memory works. He was amazed that I memorize all my credit card numbers. Gavin, we had this discussion when I was in, I guess we were in Australia maybe, or Los Angeles. And he couldn't believe that I go through, as soon as I get a new credit card, I memorize all my credit cards. Do you do that?
I memorized all of them.
I tweeted this last night. I can't memorize light switches.
Oh, that's, yeah, I know what
I
you
have
mean.
2 in my bedroom. One is the fan, one's the light. I always hit the wrong one first. Like,
Yeah.
I think
How do you not like just know one by the doors? This one.
I
by-
don't remember it. It just doesn't go in.
That happens to me too. There's in my house that I've lived in for like 14 years in Ottawa. There's a set of 4 light switches like between my kitchen and dining room.
And you end up doing like a disco. It's like,
I don't know what any of them do. One of them opens a fan to the bathroom that's down the hall.
Yep.
It's so weird.
With
Yeah,
me,
I had one that was backwards. There was 2 switches, and it was by the back door. And the one that was furthest away from the back door turned on the porch light. It just didn't make any sense to me at all.
Well, now, have you noticed too? You're supposed to have it where if all of your light switches are down, everything's supposed to be off, right? But when they
course.
install it, sometimes every now and then they'll flip one upside down. Michael had that happen to him in his apartment.
That's a
where
lazy prick.
I think he actually had to go and like it was bothering him so much he had to unscrew it,
He was
flip
an
it himself,
electrician.
and put it back. Yeah, Michael was an electrician before he
Yeah.
came in.
It's not that hard.
No,
I
but
mean,
still,
kill
you
a
know.
breaker, it takes 2 minutes to do it. So.
But in an apartment, that takes dedication.
Yeah, the worst part is when you go to like turn off a breaker for the first time. It's like there could be 85 breakers in there. You will invariably shut off the one that's your entertainment center, and then your alarm clock. It's
Yeah.
always like, fuck,
all
and
the
like
stuff that has to be reset.
everything that has to be reset.
specifically for those reasons, I hate losing power, so I have all of my entertainment center on battery backups.
Nice.
on UPSs.
You do not.
I do. So that way, I've been through power outages where I can keep playing my Xbox just fine because my internet, my Xbox, and my TV are all on UPS.
How long does it last?
I can go about 40 minutes because I have enough batteries to
Wow.
run
Can we
See
everything.
Xbox Live go?
Yeah, because I have my internet and everything going.
As long as Joel's not there.
And then my
goddamn,
laptop
that
will
was
still work because it's got a battery as long as it's charged.
Yeah, that is a weird feeling when power goes out and you're on a laptop, like at a desk, and you don't feel it at all because your laptop runs off its battery all the time anyway. So it's just like everyone else goes down, you're like, it's fine, everything's fine.
Yeah, calm the hell
As long as your
down.
wireless is still working.
And I can recall how long it's been since I had a desktop computer here at the company. It's been a long time.
Probably
Yeah.
when you were in the old office in the back room, right?
No,
Yeah,
we
but
had
even-
one here for a while. So it's been like a year.
Even that
year
wasn't
and a half.
mine though. That was like RVB Editor. What we
Oh,
call
yeah.
RVB
Yeah.
Editor, which is the editing machine to shoot RVB on.
It's
So-
funny. So today, so Gavin does this thing where he steals my chair every time I go on vacation or go out of the office for more than a day.
Isn't that a big deal? Like, don't you guys like throw fists over that?
No, I dumped him out of my
Take
chair
it too
one
far.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up! I dumped you out of the chair one time.
It's you take it way
But no,
too far.
I dumped him out of the chair one time.
Oh,
Say
you
it like
took
it's a
my
normal
chair.
thing. We were in the middle of a let's play. You flipped the chair.
It
up.
was
I almost
funny.
banged my chin on the desk. Instead, I like had to put my knee
Okay.
down.
That's not
Anyway.
funny though. That's just uncomfortable.
It's funny for you.
All right, fine.
Why do we sit these two next to each other?
For this reason, this is comedy. This is
I was
entertainment.
literally going to tell you a story about how I was nice to Gavin today, and
Oh,
instead,
he was
yeah,
nice.
fuck you. No, I'm not going to tell it now.
What was the story? What'd you do that
No,
was
fuck
nice?
it. No,
What did you do that was
I'm a
nice?
dickhead because I dumped him out of the chair.
Let me tell the
Yeah, you are.
Let me tell the
Ugh.
story. Jack replaced my chair with a good one. He got me the chair that's the exact same type as his own one.
Yes.
And then we went out into the back studio and did a let's play out there, and I ended up sat back on my old chair within like an hour.
And I was saying that chair, that was actually the same chair that was in the back office, the back office at our old office, which I think was your chair. Then it was Jeff's chair. Then it was my chair, and then it came here, and then it became Gavin's chair. Now I think it became Michael's chair,
What
and
chair
then Gavin's chair.
have you had, Gus?
I had one chair at the old office. And
Let's go get a chair and show it to the audience.
actually, for the longest time here at this building, I found a chair when we bought the building in the warehouse.
Is it that white one?
No, it's a different one. And I sat in it for a long time, but it was like a weird orange color, and it would rub orange paint onto the wall.
Oh, what the
So I had
fuck?
to end up getting rid of it. Now I've got that white one that I sit in.
Yeah, Gus has like the fucking king's chair in that office. It's awesome.
It's like this, literally the cheapest chair I could find. I think I paid $25
It's really
for
comfortable though.
No, that's an IKEA chair, right?
it. Yeah, it's like I went to IKEA and I was like, I want to find the cheapest chair I can because I don't give a fuck.
Nice.
Really.
No, like you assholes over there with your super expensive chairs. Oh no, that's upstairs. I'm sorry.
No, that's
yeah?
upstairs. No, moral of the story is I replaced Gavin's chair with a nice chair.
Well,
Thank
the
you very
thing
much,
is,
Jack.
I'm not an asshole like
I
everyone thinks
appreciate
I
it.
am.
the motive is
You're welcome.
interesting because you replaced his chair with a nice one so he wouldn't steal your chair anymore.
No, because he wanted my chair because it was a nice chair, so I got him a nice chair
You just took a chair from the back room and put it there. You didn't buy him a new chair.
that no one was using. That was a chair that literally there's nobody using that chair. It's sitting in the back.
So all you did is rolled it from
Ask
one
Brandon because I
to
was
the
I was
other.
looking online to just buy him a new one, and Brandon's like, I think we have some. I said, okay, fine. So I went and grabbed one of the old ones. I literally asked to see like where we could get those chairs so I could get him a new one because I was gonna be nice, and he's like, oh, we have them already. I was like,
Everyone in the sponsor chat does not give a shit about you and your first world problems, apparently. They're really disappointed. Although I have to admit, look, especially for those of you that are listening to the audio version of the podcast as normal, so we have the ability now to actually take chat questions on the fly, and I guess we'll get a phone at some point and let people call in.
Oh God.
We should just get like one of those
Terrible
red
idea.
phones in the middle of the table.
You guys are doing a shitty job, I have to be honest. You're doing a terrible job. Like, the questions in here are just fucking terrible.
Oh, yeah?
One of the questions is, Gavin, do you remember headlight fluid?
There.
Oh, do you remember that? I
Do you
forgot
remember?
about that.
So listen, jackasses, you have to do a better job. That's all I'm saying.
I guess maybe
This is a social contract. We're doing our part. You're being shitty. You're awful.
There
So
you go.
we should probably take a minute to explain to people who are only listening to the audio podcast that if they are a sponsor on the Rooster Teeth website, they can watch live streaming us recording the podcast now on Tuesday evenings.
Yep.
Right.
Tuesday evening, 7:30. Because we have a lot of people who listen only on iTunes or other
7:30
ways.
Central.
Right.
And
Texas time.
So if you go to roosterteeth.com, you can and you sign up for an account, you can watch us record.
Right. And listen, before anybody fucking bitches, we know that the format's going to be a little different. It's going to sound a little bit different than our normal audio podcast to begin with, but we're going to find the groove and figure it out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
we're not going to sit here and constantly ask questions in the chat room and all that stuff because they don't fucking ask anything anyway. It's blazing by and people are referencing fucking Gungam style. Just shut up.
But
Just shut up.
We are
For
going
5
to show a
minutes,
lot.
just shut up.
We're going to show a lot of YouTube videos of dogs slamming into walls, though.
That video has the most likes of any video on YouTube.
What's that?
Gangnam
Gangnam
Style?
Style?
Really?
It has almost 3 million likes.
That thing,
So it has the most by quantity.
As opposed to the most by
Not percentage?
Volume?
By
no, percentage.
quantity.
So when is that thing? That thing is dead, or I would think that thing is dead at this point. 'cause
Absolutely.
It was on Saturday Night Live 2 weeks ago.
It's totally.
Psy, the guy, the actual
I've
guy
seen
was
I've seen like soccer mom recreations of
Just
it.
wait
It's
until
so
Halloween. There's
Yeah.
gonna be a ton of size.
They'll do it at the Thanksgiving Day parade,
Yeah.
and you'll be so fucking happy about it.
No,
You'll fall for
I'm
that
done,
gimmick.
no, I'm done with it at this point.
Oregon did it at their halftime show.
Oregon and I think Ohio State or another college did it too.
I will say every time I think it's done, like when it hit 100 million views, I was like, it's done. It hit 200 million views, I was like, it's done. It's at 275 million views now.
And the most viewed video is what, 400 and 500 million?
It's some
I
Justin
don't know.
Bieber
No,
video,
I think
right?
it's a little more. I think it's
Oh, really?
600 million. It might be that
Music
the
videos.
evolution of dance.
Yeah.
I think.
Music videos. Is
No,
terrible.
Evolution of Dance is no longer number one.
It was
anymore.
Charlie Bit My
Really?
Finger for the longest time.
Charlie Bit My Finger was the most viewed.
Charlie.
I've probably watched Gangnam Style on YouTube 100 times. I don't know.
How many did we watch it at
Jesus.
PAX alone?
Yeah.
We
I
had it
will
playing
say-
on the screens like every 5 seconds. I think.
I will say someone made a mod for Skyrim where you can hit a button and 2 guards pop up, and if you talk to the guards, they start doing the Gangnam Style dance. They do the
That's
whole damn
fantastic.
thing.
And
And like
the guy, like,
the
freezing
camera,
the
like
camera as
the
well.
camera's like whipping around, like all these crazy angles and stuff. That was kind of clever, but it's like someone put a lot of work into that. So I was like, okay.
The best
But
bit was when he Phosphor Dard them at the end.
they finished and he blows them away.
Is it Charlie Bit My Finger again? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Charlie Bit My Finger
I thought it was
again.
just
That's
Charlie
the
Bit My
sequel.
Finger.
No, this
No,
one
that's
is
the- that's the
uploaded
one.
2007. That has 483 million views.
Wow. Jeez,
It
that's
has
a price.
955,000 likes.
That's a college education for Charlie right
No,
there.
it is. It
How
really
many
is.
people live in America?
300 million?
330?
330
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
million.
330.
That is a lot of people.
We do our census every 10 years here, so. What is that? Is that on the 10 years? Like, do we
Yeah.
do it in 2010, 2020?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we just had one.
What is the reasoning for what do you call the people who were here on America before?
Native Americans.
Natives?
Okay. Interesting.
Why?
Why is it interesting?
Where did the Indian bit come from?
Oh, that's because Christopher Columbus
He thought it was
trying to
India.
reach India.
So
Yeah.
he thought
Dumbass.
he called them Indians.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's right. That's where
Yeah,
that comes
that's right,
from.
yeah.
American Indians.
Yeah.
No, not American.
Just
Indian.
Just Indians.
And there's even the West Indies, right? I mean, isn't that like? I mean,
We're treading into dangerous territory.
I know
here,
of
getting, like,
history and science mixed.
history knowledge.
Yeah.
Never a
Gavin's
good thing.
favorite subject.
Just speak very authoritatively and wait for people to try to correct you later.
Exactly.
Fuck. I'll go. Yeah. I'm not gonna bother looking at the podcast chat now.
You want another beer?
I would love another beer, Gus. Thank you for offering.
Here you go.
How are we doing?
And
That's
here's,
awful sweet
here's
of
an
you.
opener.
Beer.
Give me
So,
a second.
what-
I
what
want
is
to
this
read
blazing
this
by?
here real fast.
Go for it.
So I want to remind everyone that this episode is also brought to you by...
Keep almost
Check
drinking
it out.
these rocks. It's the same shape.
Are those like skewered together or? are
Yeah,
those-
they're glued together.
Okay,
It
thank
makes,
God.
I wish that Kara had balanced them. Like what? So when somebody touched them, they would invariably fall down.
It is very important to have
We
them
talked
lit.
about where you're from and Christopher Columbus and all that stuff. I don't think Europe is a continent, and I don't know why we treat Europe like a continent.
What do you mean?
Why do you not think Europe is a continent?
How is Europe different than Asia?
I believe that they are colliding.
Different
and
plates.
the
Stop with the plates.
They're
No,
moving
the
plates.
Ural Mountains
are.
in the
I-
Ukraine are the result of the two continents
So now
colliding.
mountains can separate a continent?
And
Well,
I'm gonna
mountains
say-
are the result of continents colliding. It's Earth being pushed up.
So what? If they collided, they're one
And
continent.
also I'm going to say a word: subduction.
Subduction.
That's something to do
Okay,
with tectonic
explain
plates.
subduction. What is subduction?
The word sub would lead me to believe
Under?
it's like doing that, like
No, it's
tectonic plates.
Subscribe.
Subscribing, and it would really help out if you share this mountain.
Hit like on this mountain. And it'd be
So
great if you comment.
sub
That's
would
why-
be, sub would be under, induction would be some kind of movement. So if they're moving underneath one another,
Subduction.
like transduction.
But so you think when continents have collided that they're the same continent at that point?
All I'm saying is it's the only goddamn continent that doesn't have water around it, right?
What?
It is.
No, he's true.
I mean,
What about North and South America are attached?
the Panama Canal?
But we made that. That's man-made.
Okay, I agree with you. I mean, you could make an argument that's one big long continent, but that's a little bit different, a little smidge that you can literally take a hoe and make a whole canal
So-
through it. That is opposed to like it's just we just a big line down the middle of Asia and say this western
Well, it's
half
because
is
there's
Europe.
there's no way to tell on the land where. Oh, Jack's head's in the way. There's no way to tell on land where the gap between Asia and Europe is.
Right,
Like you could say Istanbul is in both.
right.
But
Looks like Jack's
in
flying
Asia.
plane.
is it?
Yeah.
Or is it?
Turkey's part of Asia. It's Asia Minor.
We got a
Asia
map of the
Minor.
world for
Yeah.
you.
You explain to me how Europe is different than Asia.
Well, that's a great high-quality graphic.
There's
no need
fine
to
on the
high-quality image. It's very clearly defined here.
You're welcome, internet.
The world.
I feel
providing
sorry
you-
for the people listening to the audio podcast.
Yeah, they're missing
On
this
this
great
high
world
quality
map.
world map that I Googled for you.
So Brandon commented that if what I'm saying is true, that India would be its own continent.
Why?
Really?
Because it's also on its own plate, and there's mountains between India and Asia, where India's
Let's do it.
colliding in
India,
Asia.
congratulations.
When did Brandon comment on you?
He sent me a text.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I was so confused.
But it is, I believe India is a separate plate that's colliding into Asia.
Well, from what I've heard, there's a lot of plates.
Hey, let's do a quick shout out real
Eurasia
quick
thing.
to everybody helping who's not on camera.
Yeah.
Yes.
First of all, Kara decorated the set. I know a lot of people worked on a lot of different things.
She also decorated our faces.
She did. She also
did.
painted our faces so we look so beautiful.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who work on production here. Like here in the studio with us, we have Chris and Kyle, who you guys can't see. Then back in the control room, we have Brandon, Lindsay, and Kara are all hanging out there doing stuff. I mean, and
Brandon is our director. Lindsay is our producer.
yep,
And Lindsay also edits the podcast. She always has. And we haven't had to cut anything yet,
no.
except for
Sure.
maybe Barb's genitalia
you
stuff.
go.
Nope.
So yeah, that plate.
That's staying in.
There's the
So
plate
now we have a
for
much
you.
higher quality image.
There you go. It's
to
much
Okay.
larger.
The
So you can,
plates don't
but
mean
no,
shit.
but you can see, like, yeah, like you were saying, like India actually is kind of a different. What is it?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. They named the
Australia-
goddamn continents long before they ever knew what a
Okay.
tectonic plate was.
That is something I've never heard before. The Australindian plate. It's one plate. It's attached to Australia, apparently.
Oh, weird.
yeah.
Whoa.
So now India is the
weird.
same continent as Australia. It's bullshit. Don't look at that. Stuff.
Australasia.
But I'll tell you what.
Australasia.
I'll tell you what. If you look at what's crazy, like you
Eurasia.
can see it on there. I'll just explain it. We were in Christchurch, New Zealand, where they had a huge earthquake.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a city that's on a crack, like between two tectonic plates. Why would you ever build
Isn't it similar
anything?
to the San
So do you
Andreas?
Yeah, is
See?
that Los Angeles? I mean, that's
Is
the
that
same
what it
idea.
is too?
Yeah, Los Angeles has
Yeah, well, yeah,
the
you
San
can
Andreas
see-
Fault.
Oh, yeah,
right
yeah.
there, like the San Andreas is like right along there.
I mean, that's
why they say California's gonna fall in the ocean because it's literally right there on that line.
Yeah.
It's
Great
literally
games
a
as
matter
well.
of time, right? It's
Yeah.
a long time, but it's gonna and subduct
Well,
itself.
there's a Balcones fault that goes through Texas too, right?
Nah.
Yeah,
Like
that-
it's a smaller.
That thing's been
We're
inactive
good.
for a long time.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a massive super volcano under Yellowstone or Yosemite?
Yeah, that's what powers Old Faithful.
Like literally the center of the United States of America is one massive volcano that could just erupt and basically wipe out the entire continent at any
I think it would wipe out the world, technically.
Yeah.
Looking at this
If it
picture,
erupted.
This is the whole thing about the expanding Earth theory. How was that all one piece of land?
Oh no, here we go.
It just
Because
doesn't make sense that it was all just, it'd be on one side of the
right.
Earth. It'd be like 50% land, 50% water.
shut up.
Wouldn't it?
Nope.
So, did you ever hear, when the
Nobody cares, Gavin.
when the tsunami hit Japan, I heard the story that there was this one town that evacuated to safety, like they all knew that, if the tsunami alarm sounds, that they shouldn't go to the first big hill, that there's another hill further away that they all needed to go to.
Yeah.
Apparently it was like in folklore, it was like an old folk song that they had, because apparently 1,000 years in the past there had been a giant tsunami that had killed a bunch of people who were waiting on that hill to wait out the tsunami, but it was so big that it killed everyone. So it was like this song that had been passed down for generations, and they all knew to leave. And sure enough, when this one hit a couple years ago, the same thing happened. Like people who went to that smaller hill, they all got swept away and killed.
Wow.
The people who had left to the bigger hill all
That's the scary
survived.
thing about watching those tsunami videos online is that you see the water coming in and everyone's like trying to deal with it because it doesn't come in like, it didn't always come in such a massive wave, it just like filled up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you think, all right, well I'd stand on that balcony, and then it's like, okay, I'll climb that pole, and then it's like, oh, okay, where am I going to go now?
Nothing was scarier than seeing those videos of from helicopter shots where you can see the water coming in and people driving, trying to get away,
Yeah.
and like you see them turn the wrong direction. It's like, oh, they
Yeah, like they
just
can't see
fucked
it, but from the
themselves.
helicopter you see it, like they're surrounded. There's no way.
Yeah.
Like they're still like trying to find a way
it's
out.
just like, oh,
Or
it's
just like when
the
it would like
worst.
hit like a beachfront town and you watch the water like pour down the streets.
Yeah.
And that had to be horrifying. I couldn't imagine what it's like. Just like you're on a street and all of a sudden it's just you're waist deep in water.
Yeah, or you're 30 feet deep in
Yeah,
water.
you would just be freaked out. It doesn't matter. That amount of water is so fucking dangerous.
So powerful.
Yeah. You just can't do anything about it. I mean, what is it? Your knees, and then you're swept off your feet, and you're done, right?
Yeah.
At some level, it's like if it's over a certain
I
level.
think even with cars, like it doesn't require much water for you to gain buoyancy because of your tires.
Yeah.
I think it's like 3 or 4 inches, and your car starts to float and
So
you be swept
I
away.
gotta say, when people die because of flooding, is it because they're drowning or because they're just getting dragged
Probably
across
debris.
stuff and dying?
It can also be hypothermia too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're immersed in water, and it depends on when it is and what time of year it is. But yeah,
You probably take in a lot of water.
Yeah,
like
you can drown or get killed by
I
debris.
mean, I always like to think I could at least get myself where I can grab onto something and
Well,
like,
as
maybe
soon as
prevent
you-
myself. But then I imagine
There's
so
so
much other stuff's coming and it's gonna hit you.
and you might not even see it. It might be like shit under the water as
Exactly.
well. That's just like
Also, as
fucking
soon
you
as you
up.
breathe out, you sink. So if you like take
Gavin
if you
free.
take in a deep breath and you just get a lung full of water, that's just one mistake and you're down.
well, you don't breathe
Yeah.
underwater.
I'm
You
saying, like,
take in water.
There's
Okay.
waves like going over your head. You have to time it right. If you just breathe at the wrong moment, then you'll just sink.
yeah. You just described drowning, but
Yeah, you drown.
yeah, you breathe in water.
Thank
and
you.
drown.
Drowning on
Have
the
you,
surface.
have you ever been turned upside down underwater where you didn't know which way was up?
I actually once there was this.
He was subducted by a wave.
I did this really weird thing once where there was this. It was in Tenerife, which is one of the Canary Islands where I used to go on holiday. It's near Africa, and there was this like little cove of rocks, and the ocean would come in and it would like rise up, like almost to the top of the rocks,
Yep.
and then like plummet all the way down. And I used to time it so that I would jump as it was going down. So I would jump at the same speed that the water was going down. So to me, looking at the water, it was just looked like I was floating. It's like kind of zero G effect.
That's really
Hit the
cool.
rocks doing that?
No, there's no rocks underneath. Well, there probably was, but way, way down.
So it would, even at its lowest point, it was still deep enough to jump into.
Yeah, so we would just
Okay.
like jump and like see how far down we could go with it. But there's
That-
some scary
that sounds
moments where-
awesome.
yeah, it was cool. But then I did get like we got really violent. I was like, oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Oh, I'm gonna die. And I just thought, I just tried to relax and float, and then it was fine. I climbed out.
Yeah, I've been hit by, like, when I lived in Puerto Rico, I've been hit by waves before where, like, I tumble a bunch and I try to recover, and then I start swimming towards what I think is the surface. I'm like, wait a minute, nope, no, this is entirely the wrong direction.
You also
terrifying,
you
man.
saved a girl from drowning. You talked about that on the podcast before at it was tubing, right?
Tubing, yeah.
Yeah,
Down in New Braunfels.
New Braunfels. Yeah.
There is really nothing worse than swimming towards the surface, then you hit dirt. Like
Yeah.
you really that turned around. It usually takes a wave like in the ocean to do that to you too.
You hit dirt.
That happens
But yeah,
to
like
me
if
in
you
Minecraft.
swing
Minecraft.
up and you're just swimming down, like, bam, you're like, what the hell? Then you like reorient.
Does your ear stuff that lets you know which way up you are, does that work underwater?
Yeah, sure, I think so. I mean,
Well, it's pressure. So if you feel yourself getting more and more pressure, the deeper you go.
Yeah, but I think what he's saying is if you got, like, someone flipped you
Oh,
around,
yeah.
would you know which way
I
was
always
up?
thought that the way balance and ears
a lot
worked
of
is that
things.
it's like hanging things in your ear.
go ahead.
And like so it's like they're doing that when you're set down. If you go upside down, they'll do that, and it's the way of telling your brain you're upside down. But what do you mean?
No,
I
what is
think-
the thing that hangs up to now?
I think
don't
there's
know,
actually
it's a thing.
fluid, isn't it?
it's in
it's
your
fluid, there's also like little-
cochlea.
Yeah.
It does.
But that's why when you
That's sound.
Sound.
but when you spin around, they go like swirly, and that's why you're dizzy. Is because you don't really know what way up you're.
How'd they go?
They swirly.
Swirly.
Have you ever heard my impression of Gavin on the podcast?
No.
You got to do it now.
Here we go.
You just volunteer yourself.
Gavin likes to ask questions that nobody would ever think of, ever in their lifetime.
Well, apparently on this podcast, I asked what is a period, so I'm kind of still really.
Well, that's a normal question. My impression of Gavin is, what if your legs didn't know that they were legs? Just like completely nonsensical,
yeah.
amazing
That was
questions.
a fantastic Gavin
I know.
impersonation.
You always have to start with the.
Oh man, I'm going to look up cochlea on the internet.
Don't misspell that.
Yeah.
No, actually, it's
I'm
worse.
envisioning now a plant that looks like a penis.
It almost
Me
looks like
too.
a snail with these three like arches on it, like three circular tubes that are on it,
Yeah.
and that's what gives you your
But
orientation.
did you ever see? Did you see the video of them demonstrating how the cat falls? It like flips its head and the body goes, but then they do it in 0G or in space or wherever they are, and
Yeah.
the cat's just like just doesn't know which way to turn. It just can't do it because there's no.
Let's test that with Joe.
Yeah,
Look at
that
his
is.
Joe
Did they
probably-
really take
Joe-
a cat to space?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
they-
no,
they-
it was the vomit comet.
Yeah,
Well,
where
no, the
they
vomit
take
comet-
that plane and they put it in a
Oh, okay,
parabolic
okay.
No,
arc.
no,
All right,
the vomit
we have
comet
the
would
internet.
work though because you're falling.
No. There's okay. So
Do you know?
there is
Wait,
like,
do you know how weightlessness occurs in space?
You just fall around the earth.
yeah, you're
Right.
falling.
Yeah.
So how is that any different than the vomit comet?
Because a cat on land, you drop it and it'll spin around. Won't it?
But the vomit comet is when you have 0G.
It's only the illusion of 0G.
So I see what Gavin's saying. Gavin's saying the
A
cat is still
Still
falling.
knows where the Earth is. It's still
Right,
like,
but it's falling in space.
space is just falling around the Earth. It's not falling in any direction. There's no
It's
wind.
falling.
Space
It's
is
coming to
falling
the Earth. You are
around
falling
the
to the
Earth.
Earth.
Yeah, but you're not going down. You're not going.
Yes, you are.
You're going
Things
around.
are in constant entropy coming back down to Earth.
Right, but it's
We have
not
a-
enough for the cat to know that it's in a decaying orbit.
Well, here we're gonna find
There's
out.
a cat on the vomit
No,
comet.
there's a cat. It's a weightless cat. I don't know exactly where it came
It is.
from.
I've seen
Do we have
this.
the video?
They're on a
Okay,
plane.
here we
They're
go.
on a
They're on
plane.
a plane?
They're in a parabolic arc, so they're in
So-
0G.
Okay, that's them testing clearly
All right.
without gravity, Gavin.
What the fuck are they? What are those hats?
These cats were having a nice day at home.
That's
earlier.
like, yeah. Oh, see, they flip around, no problem.
Good job.
All right. Oh, here we go. Now this. Oh, no. That cat says, "What is going on?" For you audio podcasters.
This will be in the link dump. We'll put the link
Oh my
dump.
god. Oh, those poor
my God.
cats.
So wait,
fucking white cat.
I don't understand that. They just kicked it into the ceiling. I don't understand. What is the difference there?
There is no difference.
Oh
I'm
my
telling you, it's the
God.
same thing. If you're in a free fall, you are in free fall in space. You're just falling very fast around the Earth, back
Yeah.
down to the Earth.
But what Gavin's
I
saying, you're
climbed
in
up.
free fall just for a much less time. Like
Yeah.
if I drop my
Right.
gear, it's in free fall, but
Let's
it's
say I climbed up a really tall ladder on Earth, and I dropped a cat. It would go the right way up and fall.
actually.
Wouldn't
This
it?
fucked me up. We had a standardized test in the U.S. called the ACT test. ACT. ACT. And one of the parts was reading comprehension. We had to read a passage in it and then answer questions on it. Well, there's like 10 of those in that section, and I was blazing through it, filling everything out, and I get to this one section, and the reading comprehension was about a trait in cats that if you take them and you throw them, they land on their feet. But if you take them and you toss them out of a 20 or 30-story building, there's after a certain amount of time of falling, they right themselves, but then they do this. They spread out like this.
Like flying squirrels.
Yes.
Yes, and so they land flat, and their rib cage absorbs the impact. And I remember this because I read this in this passage. So a cat that falls from 15 plus stories has a better chance
Yeah.
of surviving than a cat that falls below that.
Yeah, there's like a dead zone in the middle.
Right.
Yes.
Because the cat don't have the time for that mechanism to kick in. And cats survive these unbelievably long falls. And I was laughing so hard. This like, who the fuck is that? But these cats like.
This is my point.
Here's the deal.
This is my point, Gus.
Okay.
You drop a cat out of a 50-story window, it will right itself immediately and glide to the bottom.
You don't know that. You've never seen that.
I imagine it would.
Yeah, but we can speculate that. I'll give you
So
that.
why didn't the cat falling inside the plane
when
do
you're
that?
falling out of a 50-story building or off of a tall ladder, you have like wind and other
So it's
factors
based on
also
wind.
adjusting you. I'm saying that's one of the factors
Yeah.
affecting. When you're in an enclosed space like that, you're falling inside of another object that's also falling,
Yeah.
so you don't have those other cues as well. So you are seemingly weightless.
You have no external forces on you. You don't have gravity
Right.
on you. Seemingly don't have
There's
gravity on you.
no wind resistance.
So a blind cat that couldn't feel wouldn't be able to right itself.
Can we
That is
qualify,
correct.
Can we qualify this any more, please?
A blind cat that couldn't feel. I don't understand. Like,
What is the
that
definition of
can't
not
feel.
feeling?
A blind.
If he's blind to senses.
If we had the Helen Keller of cats, and we threw it off a
Helen
building.
Keller could feel.
So it's a
feeling
really,
is like it can't
That's the one thing she had was feel.
it's a really
If
numb
you put Helen
and really
Keller in
blind
the
cat.
vomit comment,
Water, Joe. Water. Okay.
I think it's different if the cat's in space.
I don't know. How
Why
would
is
it be different than
cats
that?
in space? Why is it different than cats in space?
Space gravity is different to planet gravity.
I can literally see the gear.
Space
turning
gravity is
inside.
different than planet gravity.
What does Gavin, if the Earth is this big, if the Earth is this big right here, you look at me, okay?
I'm looking
The
at you.
Earth is this big. We're standing here, okay? The difference between where we stand and where the space shuttle or the ISS is not that great in comparison to the center of mass of the planet. It's not the actual amount of gravity that the astronauts
What-
are under is not that much less.
What altitude does the ISS and the space shuttle orbit at? Is it like 120 miles, I want to say?
I want to say you're right. I think like 90 miles is to get outside the atmosphere, and I think maybe 120 miles. And geosynchronous orbit's way the fuck out,
you
and that's
guys
where
know this
it's
stuff.
far enough out that your orbit around the Earth is the same as the rotation of the Earth, so the satellite stays in the exact same position. That's what a geo.
Have
and
we
there's a-
talked-
There's a band out there. It's further out. That's where things go.
Have we talked about the time drift that the GPS satellites have experienced since they've been in space for so long?
I think you talked about that a long, long time
Wait,
ago.
how does that happen?
So, okay, this is like we're going to get
Is it a
shit
leap
for this.
second where the Earth is slowing down?
No,
Is
well,
that
what
a
happens
second?
is, I want to say that the faster you travel, that time slows down for you very slightly. It's like super imperceptible. But the
if you
GPS
travel-
satellites have been in orbit, going 20 or 30,000 miles an
Yeah.
hour for so long that time has slowed down for them. So the onboard clocks that they have are off. They're totally off. So now any GPS device you have that measures from the satellites has to account for the time drift that they've experienced.
Can't they just
Whoa.
cancel
That's
the time
awesome.
drift at the source instead of?
No, because they're like atomic clocks, I want to say. Like they're very precise clocks.
Well, that's all it is, isn't it? If you have 3 satellites, they all send the time, and then your device will figure out the difference in time between each one very subtly, and that's where you are.
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously it's a big deal for a GPS device.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to think that the satellites have, they haven't experienced as much time as we have.
This is what I worry about when, I like to rely on time as like my base. Like time is time. Everyone sees at the same time. But then it gets to the point where like if you go to the speed of light, time doesn't exist or it stops.
Theoretically.
Well, that's kind of what the satellites are experiencing on a smaller scale.
What is our base? Like what's our anchor in all of physics?
I want to say that time does have a constant definition, and I think that's that's how the atomic clock works. I want to say that they have, I believe it's a cesium atom, and they measure the amount of times that it gyrates or the electrons rotate around it, and that's how they designate like so many rotations equals a second.
All right, it has some data here.
Oh no.
The International Space Station is at an altitude of 230 miles.
Okay.
That's how high.
230
So it's double
miles.
what you thought it was.
230 miles up.
That's nothing.
I don't know how high the atmosphere is, but it's 230 miles up.
How far away is Dallas?
The geosynchronous orbit band, a geostationary orbit can only be achieved at an altitude very close to 22,236 miles up.
Wow.
And directly above the equator.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's
Holy
much higher than I
That's
thought.
way the hell out there. How far is the moon? Gavin, how far away is the moon?
Well, just tie a rope around it and we can figure it out.
Yeah, pull it in.
It's a few days away, isn't it?
I mean, they've talked about like space elevators and stuff, right?
Space?
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. But it was something about.
Is it?
I remember something about space elevators was the fact that they were moving so fast. They get like static electricity or some sort of electricity builds a charge because it's literally like a giant sail in the sky, right?
I think
There's no
so.
atmosphere.
Yeah.
The sail is.
I don't want to get into it because I don't want to get it wrong. But
I don't know.
I
about
remember
that.
in high school talking about this, about the idea.
You don't want to get stuck on that elevator.
Tethering something in space. Like, at what point could you literally like position something in space and like point it towards Earth and it wouldn't fall out of the sky?
Yeah.
So
There's also a special orbit where they put stuff that they don't need anymore. Like they just move the orbit higher, or I think it's higher, or is it lower?
And gravity is a very powerful force. Like we get gravitational pull from the moon on our oceans.
Yeah.
I mean, we get affected by gravity from pretty much everything in the solar system.
Sounds
I
not
would
real.
think they would move stuff they don't use anymore lower so that it burns up in the atmosphere.
I think they
because
could
if
do
you
that.
put
I would
things
think
higher,
higher to
they're
just
gonna
kinda
they're
get
gonna
rid of
keep
it.
coming back down eventually.
Okay, the
They're gonna
moon is
decay.
238,000 miles away.
So a tenth of the way to the moon.
Yeah, 10th of the way to the moon. That's pretty
That's
significant.
it?
Wow.
That's pretty
That's it?
significant.
I thought it was a lot more than that for
Yeah,
some
well, one
reason.
of the reasons why Earth stays so safe too is there's like a lot of different
What?
things that keep Earth safe. God, we're on a fucking science podcast.
We
here.
did it again.
How do we do that?
I don't know.
Like the magnetic fields protect us from the sun and from solar radiation. Solar
Van
radiation.
Allen belts.
Right. Well, and from meteors and all that, we're really protected by Jupiter. Like Jupiter being as enormous as it is,
It's not though. It's big, but it's so damn far away. What's going to do it?
it has an enormous
fucking
gravitational pull.
big.
That's what it does.
Have you ever seen the demonstration of gravity? This is what like sold it for me when I was a kid, where someone gets like a giant flat sheet and everyone holds it taut.
Yeah.
And it's like this is the universe, this is space, and you get like a baseball and you put it on the sheet and it creates a little dent. So if you roll a marble, it like circles and eventually ends up there. Like that demonstrates how gravity is. You get a basketball, it has a much bigger dent and pulls much more. So if you throw the
Put a
marble
fucking
through,
bowling ball on that
same
shit.
thing. It affects that's a good way to think of gravity. There's like these giant
I
forces.
get that, but imagine a
holding
sheet
down.
the size of the country and then put a baseball on it.
Yeah,
That's
imagine
the
a sheet
scale
the
of-
size of a country, and then Jupiter's like the size of Texas on that sheet.
No.
Here, Jupiter is our solar system's largest planet, and it creates both good and bad conditions for earthly life. On the one hand, Jupiter's powerful gravity prevented space rocks orbiting near it from coalescing into a planet. That's why our solar system has an asteroid belt. On the other hand, Jupiter's gravity also protects us. Long-period comets enter the solar system from its outer reaches, but Jupiter's gravity slings most of these fast-moving ice balls out of the solar system before they can ever get close to Earth.
Thank you.
So
Jupiter.
they're coming in,
Good guy,
they
Jupiter.
hit
Yep.
Jupiter's
Yeah.
gravity and then just circle around right back out.
So whenever I see the asteroid belt on a picture or something, there's always like dense asteroids in a big ring all the way around between Mars and Jupiter, or whatever. It can't surely be like that, can it?
no, I think it's
And it must
actually
be, like, really
it's actually
dense,
really
like, really
sparse. It's like
sparsely.
giant.
Yeah.
Wasn't Jupiter in Star Trek the movie where they warped back towards Earth, towards the solar system?
I think that was Saturn.
Was it Saturn?
Yeah.
Because they were hiding in the rings or whatever.
Either way, it's kind of weird that all of the planets are on the same flat plane.
One of them is
it's
not.
not.
No.
It's
I
rotation.
don't think they are.
They are. It's just rotation that does that.
Rotation of what?
The rotation of the solar system.
But I thought
No, I think
Pluto.
Neptune or Pluto is on a slightly
Those are
different.
planets.
Neptune is.
Neptune is.
Fuck off.
But what is stopping from Earth going around the sun like this, and then Mars going
It is
around
the
that?
rotation of the entire thing, including the sun.
So the sun's rotation does it.
Everything's in motion.
Well, you
all the
can't
time.
say everything. It's the sun or the planet. Like
No,
there's
the sun
thing.
also moves.
I know.
The whole
but
solar
there's
system is moving through
You
the
say the solar
galaxy.
system as though it's like a plate. There's
Yeah, it is.
How do we get on this
It's the
goddamn
rotation.
It's not. It's just different objects.
It's interesting.
All right.
Let's
Kill
talk about-
science?
You kill science.
Let me talk about something.
Go ahead.
Tongues, right? Do you ever
Okay.
brush your tongue when you're brushing your teeth?
Absolutely, I
All
do.
the time.
I used to do that because it's like sometimes you wake up with like your mouth tastes like gauze. So
Which
you
is
just wanna-
something I don't understand. How can I brush my teeth at night? I go
Yeah.
to bed and my mouth tastes like
Dude,
crap.
I
Because
can
your
fall
mouth
asleep.
is closed when you're sleeping, so all the saliva.
My mouth is fucking open. Let me tell you that right now.
But you can fall asleep. You can fall
I have the
asleep
drool stains to prove this.
You can fall asleep for 20 minutes on a plane, and then you wake up and it's like, damn it. Ugh. So I've been like, I just brush my tongue just to get that shit off.
Well, you know why you have to brush your tongue.
You know why you?
That's where all your bad breath lives.
Yeah.
I used to brush my tongue, but I feel like when I brush my tongue, it like activates my gag reflex, and I want to.
that's what
That's
I'm doing
me.
now. Like my
How
gag
far back
reflex.
are you brushing
No,
your
even if it's
tongue?
like here in the middle.
That's an animated
It
gift.
depends. It
Thanks
depends.
for the other
like,
anime gift. How far back you brushing your tongue, bud?
for me, it depends day to day,
That
like
one.
how vigorous I can be with my tongue. Like some mornings, I've done all my teeth and it's just like, and I'm just like, I just touched the wrong bit. It's like, I'll give that a miss today. But I went to the doctor. This is probably like 2 or 3 months before I came here. I think my tonsils were swollen or something. And it was one of those days where I had a really sensitive gag reflex. So the woman was like, trying to look at my tonsils, and I was raising my tongue, and she was like trying to press down, and she was like, "Can you relax your tongue?" And I was like, "Okay." And I got excited to go up again, and she was like, "All right, I'm just going to use this stick." So she put this stick to the back of my tongue, and then like it was like a little wood, like a lollipop stick. And she was like, this, she was
tongue
like,
depressor, it's called.
yeah, and she was doing this, and then it went. She snapped it. She's like, "Jesus, you have the strongest tongue I've ever seen." And I was like, "I'm so sorry."
Ladies,
in
he
the
is
end-
single.
In the end, she just
Men,
had to, like,
he is single.
she just had to hold the tip of my tongue for like 5 minutes. I
bet she did.
Until I naturally like depressed it. And she was like, "Yeah, your tonsils all right." And then I went, but it was just like I got a really strong.
So let me get
my
this straight.
tongue just-
The dentist is sitting there with you, and she's
The
holding
doctor.
your
It was a
tongue
doctor. It was a
for
doctor.
5 minutes. Like you just did you make conversation? Just like
Yeah, that's
stare
awkward
at each
as
other for
fuck.
5 minutes?
Hey, baby,
She
you
was
got
just
a
like,
sweet tongue.
Relax. And I was just like, slowly.
So
What a shitty patient you are. You're just the worst.
I had my tonsils removed when I think I was either 10 or 11.
Right.
And like 2 or 3 years ago, I went to the doctor, and he did the same thing. And I have the same problem where I can't relax my tongue. And we fight for a bit. Eventually, he looks, and he's like, "Oh yeah, your tonsils look okay." And I'm like, "I had my tonsils removed 24 years ago or whatever." He's like, "Okay, I lied. I couldn't see them."
Totally
Holy
caught him.
shit, man! What an honest doctor, an honest lying doctor.
Yeah.
Wow. My dad. You'll love this story, Gus, because you have siblings that you can't stand. My dad, his brother got tonsillitis. The doctor comes around and says, "Oh yeah, Justin has tonsillitis. We're gonna take his tonsils out. But since I'm here, why don't I just take out all the kids' tonsils?"
That is awful.
He took
I would
out
hate him.
They took
I would
out
smack him. After that.
5 kids.
Oh my god.
Is it good or bad to do that now?
Do you think he was like, "I need a second story on my house. So what am I gonna do?"
Well, I think it was like post-depression era with my dad's age.
Everyone says that like it's a casual. "Oh, I have my tonsils out." It sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Carving out your
like melon
back-
balls.
And then you get like bowls of ice cream.
No,
for
has
days.
anyone else had their tonsils out?
No.
I remember waking up, and like I felt like my throat was on fire. I woke up, and I instantly like felt burning. I tried to scream because it hurt so bad,
Is
and
this
like
with your tonsils or after they were gone?
after they were gone.
Okay.
I tried to scream, and like nothing came out. I was like and it was like tears are streaming down your face, and you can't use your throat at all. And you're right. People are always like, "Oh, they give you ice cream, they give you sherbet." Fuck that! It hurts so bad.
You can buy ice cream bar, bro.
Yeah, I was
you don't
like-
have to get your throat ripped apart.
Oh my
You get
god!
a bowl of
And
ice
then
cream.
the nurse comes by and I'm like screaming. He's like, "Don't, it's okay, it's okay. Don't try to talk." I'm like, like nothing's coming out.
I get tonsil infections all the goddamn time,
Alright.
especially as a kid.
Who had the time from when my chair broke?
So he loses-
I
I saw you lean back and I
Whee!
So we bought some new furniture for
Yeah.
the podcast set. And as we because of the fucking cat, we haven't been able to test it. We've had
Shut
to
up.
That's not the cat's
The cat had
fault.
nothing to fucking do
We
with
can't-
not
we
being
were
able to
able
test the
to test
furniture.
it. And
You can't
so
keep
now
a
we
cat
come
at
out here
bay?
today, we take the cover off, and what happens? The chair doesn't work.
You don't have any excuse now. We
I can
showed
do
the
it better
audience.
you.
I imagine
You can do
Joe with like a
anything the
screwdriver.
cat. You can chew the cat, you can wiggle the cat, he's fine. You can't fight off a fucking cat.
Show the
That's
cat's
furniture.
crotch
Say
to
a
the
chair
audience.
doesn't work. A chair doesn't is like you can't say that about a chair. You can say that about many things, but a chair is just something you sit on.
You wouldn't assume that it's broken, but it's brand new.
I wouldn't say assume like that either.
Yeah.
I also noticed too that you didn't know that the chair was broken, but who got the fucking broken chair? Not you, right?
No, not me.
Yeah.
It was pure luck. It was a 50-50 shot.
No, 50-50.
Well, there's only 2 chairs. It's either us or the couch.
All right, so I gotta tell you about, we were talking about memory earlier. I'm gonna go all the way back to that. And I'm gonna tell you something that fucking drives me crazy.
What drives
So-
you crazy, Burns?
So I'm gonna make up a number here, but this
Make
is,
up a number.
This is essentially what the number is.
4.
Got a new address.
A
and
new
I
address.
couldn't-
Fuck up.
I couldn't remember the new address. And let's just say the new address is 6714 Happy Lane.
Okay.
And I just couldn't remember 6714. I just could not fucking remember it. And I made that comment. I said, I can't remember the number. And someone I know says to me, they go, oh, it's really easy to remember 6714. I go, how do you do it? They said, well, 6 plus 7 is 13. Except it's not. It's 14. I went, that is so fucking stupid. Now I can't forget it. I can't forget it. And it's like, now I'll never forget that address because that thing is, that's
That's
such
like
a
saying
stupid way to remember it.
That's like saying like 21 plus 3 is 1,000, but it's not.
It's the number you're supposed to remember.
This
Do
is
you
how
remember the addresses like that? I feel like I always try to invent like numerical tricks to remember
All the
numbers
time.
for addresses and phone numbers. I do that.
that's actually one of the most difficult things I've found living here is that in the UK numbers start at 1 on a road and you'll never get a number that's like 4704.
Is it because they're really
No,
short
you just live in a
roads?
small town, dude.
What?
You just live in a small town. Tame
Numbers start at 1 here also.
Yeah, but they're short roads, I guess. I guess.
Well, how do you number streets? Do you know how streets are numbered in the U.S., like how an address works?
Well, we don't have that. We don't have blocks.
Yeah?
So
There's no,
it
like-
goes from 1 to 19 and that's it?
Why 19?
Because then you'd have 2 0.
Why 19?
What? No, you have 20 after 19.
So you said it
like
goes
normal.
from.
But you said they
No,
don't
it
start
starts
with
at 1.
twos.
Doesn't necessarily mean.
It means they start at 1. Is
Yeah.
What, you said. They
What
start
does
at-
that mean?
They start at the number 1. The address is 1, 2, 3, 4, moving down the road.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
yeah.
the
Start
street.
at 100.
Say I live at 4712. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that street doesn't start at 0 or 1.
Well, numbers in the U.S. start that way. I mean, there's 30
starts at
Rockefeller
1.
Plaza.
That's true.
Did you all get confused with the address system in Japan when y'all were there?
We didn't know shit.
I didn't
We
really see an
yeah.
address actually.
What is
So
it?
the blocks, how did it work again? It's been a while since I've been there, but I want to say that the address varies. Like, there's block numbers. So, let's say you're in Shinjuku, where you all went to.
Yeah.
There's like block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4, and then each block, the number address of each building depends on the date it was built. So the oldest building on the block is number 1. The second oldest building is number 2. So none of the numbers are right next to each other. So
Oh,
that's how
man.
old the buildings
If
are.
the first building falls down, they've got to renumber everything.
Right, everything changes.
That'd be an expensive mistake.
All right, Gus, they're saying your mic is low, so I'm going to tell a story about the
They
Emmys.
just fixed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a slight delay for the street.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell a story about the Emmys anyway, Burnie.
Yeah, do you want to hear about this?
I would
Jack
love
is
to hear
really
about the
jealous about it. He's
No,
just
no,
"He
like
wants the Emmys.
no, that's no. I'm very happy for you, but I'm incredibly jealous that you got to go. I would
Please talk
love to
about
do something like
the
that.
Emmys.
Oh, I didn't know. If I'd known you wanted to go, I would have brought you. No.
Yeah, I was just say.
We
no.
were at Philly.
We were in Philly. I had a great time in Philly.
Yeah.
Philly, Emmys, you know.
You know what? RT Philly is one of the only fan events that I have not been to. RT Philly and RVB Minnesota I have not been to.
Who did you meet at the Emmys? Of notable work.
I don't want to get into that because that'll be like the biggest douchebag segment ever. But I
Name
met
drop.
really cool people.
You're allowed to name drop one person.
The coolest person I met by far that I was most excited about, there was somebody you would like from Breaking Bad, but I met Peter Dinklage,
That's awesome.
the imp from Game of Thrones.
Legend.
Fucking awesome.
Meow, 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 meow,
not
meow,
sure-
meow, meow, meow.
I'm not sure if he's British or not.
He's American.
He is. He sounded British though.
Really?
Yeah.
I
just
can
said-
tell by his accent.
Yeah. He was
Are you not allowed to say who else you met?
totally cool. I just want to get all douchey like
Oh,
that. I can,
but-
yeah.
Who
It
did
was
you meet from
really
Breaking
cool.
Bad? You already said you met someone from Breaking Bad.
Aaron Paul.
So
I met him.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he won an Emmy that night.
He won an
too.
Emmy that night too. Yeah, it was like super brief, and I was gonna try to get a picture of. It's the only person I was gonna ask for a picture, but then he got called away by. He was on the red carpet, got pulled away by a reporter like instantaneously as soon as I said hello, and so I took a picture of his back for Jack. So it was
got
like
that.
Sweet
it was
ass
like
back.
literally instantaneously.
That's so cool though, man.
Yeah.
No, didn't he win an Emmy that night? I mean, what are the odds of that? Like,
I think it's the only Emmy that Breaking Bad won.
yeah, it
far
was,
as
as
I
a
know.
matter of fact.
Yeah, what the fuck was up with that?
I also noticed that Aaron Paul did not thank Bryan Cranston in his Emmy speech.
I'm sure he must have just forgotten that. 'Cause,
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
seemed overwhelmed, a little bit like.
Yeah, well, it was
Yeah.
his third nomination, second Emmy.
Yeah.
And that's still pretty badass, though. I mean,
He won an Emmy for Breaking Bad before.
I'm going to point
did.
something out. I'm going to point something out. Everybody who won an award there always made sure to thank the creator of the show. And like I was hearing all these creators like, oh, like thank you, Vince Gilligan.
Vince Gilligan.
Gilligan.
Yeah.
And I actually thought that what it was, but I want to make a fool of myself by saying Gilligan. And everybody thanked the creators of the show. I have no illusions that if anybody won an acting award in Red vs. Blue, they would fucking thank me for making the show. There wouldn't be that for a heartbeat.
I like the
Nobody would
idea
do
that you would think, anyway, I'm going to stop talking right there.
Anybody would win an award?
So speaking of actors on Red vs. Blue, I was in my car the other day listening to ESPN radio, and a commercial came on, like a national spot came on. It was a McDonald's ad, and it was a mom talking to her son, and I'm 99% positive the mom is Lee Eddy.
Who plays the pilot?
Who's the pilot on Red vs. Blue.
Who we love very much.
We
I love Lee Eddy. She's awesome.
Lee is so awesome. Man.
My
She's
favorite
cool.
scene in season 10 is the one where Lee Eddy, the pilot, and Delta square off, and she won't let him on the plane.
Now, have we talked about the read we did at the studio? Have we mentioned that at all?
We've mentioned it in the past.
You know what? I think we
Okay.
talked about it on the commentary for the season 10 DVD.
Okay. Can we talk about that, or do we want to keep that?
Sure, no,
quiet?
go ahead, yeah.
So we did a live read through of season 10. This is the first time that's ever happened. It was the season was. I mean, it's completely different. Not completely different. It's quite a bit different from that read through than it is on the final product. But we still had a lot of actors in town reading that. And
I think it was almost every actor except for one, right?
Shanna Merlin, who plays Agent South, could not be there.
and Elijah Wood was not there as well.
Elijah
I don't
was
think
not
we had
there.
cast Elijah at that point.
No.
Yeah.
No, we had. We thought
had?
he might be playing it, yeah.
Okay.
So who played the voice of Sigma in that read-through?
It may have been you, Burnie.
No, I think Sigma was played by Lamar Hall, who does the rapping on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played
Okay.
him in
But
the read-through.
but yeah, the bit between that scene in particular between Pilot and Delta, which is Lee and Mark, that was awesome. It was one of those things like it probably got the biggest sort of reaction during the read through, and
Yeah.
that's a great scene.
I stand corrected. I think Nico played Sigma and Lamar played Theta
So
in that
I
read-through.
know Lamar played someone. We have
Yeah.
the video of it. Is it on the season 10 disc
I
or is
think
it on the box
I
set?
think there's parts of it in the.
There's coverage. Hey, Brandon, you want to fill us in and tell us if it's on the
I'm pretty
season
sure
10
it's
disc?
in the behind the scenes.
Brandon's in the other room. He's in the control room.
All right.
He
Yeah.
might be able
He
to
can-
find it.
Brandon, you can aim me
maybe
if you
we
need
can
to.
post a photo or something linked up so you can get an idea. But
Yeah.
anyway, it was a very, very cool experience, and yeah, I got to read the narration part of it, which was a lot of fun. There was a lot more reading than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was really cool. I especially liked, we even did this fun thing where we got a photo booth, and we had people go in the photo booth like, the name's escaping me, I don't know why. The director and the chairman. I just can't think of the name of the
Jack.
character.
What?
Yeah.
Soft
they-
and-
what's
no,
that?
No, it was Jack and god damn it, now you missed
Jack and
it was
What are you guys talking about? You talking about the actors?
yeah, director.
Asaf?
no, he's counselor.
Yeah, it's on the DVD.
Jack and
Who are you guys trying to think of the name
Director.
of?
Director and
John Marshall
Church
Reed.
and Dr. Church.
John Reed.
John,
Yeah.
John. Jesus Christ.
I couldn't think of what you guys were saying. So they got
Live
they got in the
television.
booth together and they took photos together. And then Mark Bellman, who plays Delta, and
Shannon.
Sean Dugan, who plays York, got in there. God, I can't say any names. I can't even say the character's name.
Yark.
They got in the booth together and they took photos together. So we have all these film strips of like all the guys who are on the red team, all the guys on the blue team, all the freelancer pairs. You know,
My favorite picture from that set of photos is I think it's Jeff Williams and Lamar Hall in that photo booth, and like Jeff's shirt is up, Lamar's touching his nipple. There's a lot of really
risque.
PG-13 action going on. in
Peach
that photo.
13.
I have a
I want to say Brandon texted me to say that some of the table read is on the behind the scenes disc.
Okay.
When is all that coming out, by the way?
November 6th. Remember
Well,
to not forget.
Behind the scenes disc, that's in the box set. That's not in the season 10 set.
Correct.
So you have to buy the box set, which is no.
Everyone's going to buy the box set, right?
Dude, I want that box set so bad. That Blu-ray set is gonna be awesome.
The DVDs are awesome.
Yeah.
Like
I want
we've
Blu-ray.
been testing them for.
The Blu-rays are
weeks.
pretty sweet too.
They look awesome.
Have you done the thing where you've replaced all the DVDs of your favorite movies with Blu-ray?
A lot of them, yes. A lot of my Blu-rays got stolen.
I must have rebought like maybe 50 movies on Blu-ray.
I got a sad like period of time in there where I bought all HD DVDs. Then I bought Blu-rays
Why
after
would you
that.
do- See,
I
you're
thought
so-
Bernie and I were both adamant that HD DVD was going to win out.
I was the same way too.
My dad was
No,
also that way.
what the rationale was people knew what DVDs were, and
they
they knew
knew-
what HD was.
Right.
They
So
knew what
think-
VHS was.
No, listen to me. They don't know what Blu-ray is. That's like an unknown thing.
Yeah.
They know they want HD. They know they have a DVD. Why not get the HD DVD?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they went from VHS to DVD. Then nothing. It's not VHS
Right.
plus.
Because that
digital,
didn't
is it?
exist.
What didn't exist?
All I'm saying,
VHS plus.
Gavin,
I
all
know,
we're
they
saying
call it
is
DVD.
we're thinking about the average consumer out there when they go to buy a Blu-ray player or an HD DVD player. I literally said, Gus, people are going to be saying in the store, I have an HD TV, I'm going to get an HD DVD player. Like, that just would make sense. The average consumer out there.
How important do you think PlayStation 3 was to
It-
letting
it
Blu-ray
was
win
the thing.
You think so?
It was the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that a PlayStation had a Blu-ray player in it. In fact, I think it was also critical to the sales of the PS3.
Yeah. Well, no. Oh, yeah. Okay.
It was the only
Yeah.
reason I bought a PS3.
It's the only reason I have a
I bought
PS3.
my PS3 on eBay with no controllers and a remote.
Really?
I bought it as a Blu-ray
It
player.
also makes sense because the PlayStation 2 was highly responsible for DVD getting as pervasive as it was.
Was it really?
I think so. I mean, I know more people had PlayStation 2s that would watch DVDs.
DVDs started
because
back
of
in
it.
the
I
Nintendo
would
64
say
era.
what helped DVDs was the Matrix.
Yes.
I think the Matrix
Yeah.
DVD was really what made people.
What was your
transition.
first DVD you bought?
The first DVD I bought, man, I might have been the Matrix.
Really? That late?
Yeah.
My first
late,
DVD
isn't it?
was Rush Hour.
Really? Mine was Hackers. That was
I want
awesome.
to say Titanic. I don't.
Titanic didn't come out on DVD for a long time, I thought.
Oh
first
yeah,
DVD,
you're
I have
right.
no idea.
Fuck it. I'm lying.
No, Twister was the one you just always see at Best Buy.
I think
or,
it was the first DVD.
No.
Yeah.
That can't be right.
Why don't we
No,
search?
'cause
We have
Twist-
the internet
Twister
at our
was the one.
fingers.
All right, fine.
That's not-
Jeff,
that's not
Jeff,
interesting.
you might actually be right. Are you sure the PlayStation played DVDs?
Yeah,
PlayStation
yeah.
2.
Okay.
Oh, PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 1 came out in 1995. DVDs came out in 1996. Let me see when PlayStation 2 came out.
PS2 launched in
2000.
2000, yeah.
Yep,
October
2000.
26,
I
2000.
think DVDs had come out
What was the
October
first?
26, 2000. Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I remember that. I was in Janesville, Wisconsin, and
someone
I bought
says-
one in the middle of nowhere.
When someone says something that was 10 years ago, what do you think of?
2002.
You don't. I still
it's-
think of like
Wow.
1990 something.
So do I.
All right, so according to this website, this Yahoo website, it says that the first DVD was Austin Powers.
No.
No.
Are you on Yahoo Answers?
Yahoo Answers?
No, this is I don't know. Blah blah blah.
It's hard to read.
Yeah, it's hard to read from here. The Mask and Austin Powers, which I remember that Austin Powers disc because it was like that paper one. Remember, like those the boxes were like paper with a little
Yeah.
clip on the side and everything. But yeah, I remember. Yeah, Hackers though. There was
In
like
the
this crazy
year
bonus scene with like,
2000.
or not like this bonus feature. Where is this like the virus or whatever, that weird worm thing?
Did you ever watch a DVD that made use of the angle button, where you could just press
Porn.
the angle?
Porn.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Porn had
Oh, is
that.
that what that's for?
Porn is.
I was gonna say, like,
The
why,
thing is,
why is that a movie?
directors typically don't want you to fuck with what they've done unless they
Appropriate
really want
use
you
of
to fuck
words.
with what they've done.
They don't put. They would have put that on a DVD either. Put a different angle for a shot. They're just not going to do it. You know.
Well, that's what I was wondering. I've never had a movie that
Porn.
you could do.
Yeah.
It's
Makes
all
sense
makes
now,
sense
doesn't
now.
it?
That's amazing. That blew my mind.
Guys are
You know,
gross.
Dates are funny though too. Like they kind of lock in your memory for like. What do you think of? What is Election Day?
know.
What date is Election Day to you?
No.
It's,
November
Super
8th?
Tuesday, November.
But what is it though? To me,
It's the first Tuesday in November.
That's it.
it's free floating to you.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not to me. To me, Election Day is November 4th. Even though I know the rule that it's Super Tuesday, and it's going to be the first Tuesday of the month, right?
It's November-
Is
is it
Super
November
Tuesday
6th
the
this
election
year?
day? I thought Super Tuesday was something else.
No, Super Tuesday is Election Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's November 6th this year, right?
It's
Yeah,
November
it's
6th.
November
Because remember
to not forget.
There you go.
I
But
just care
to
about
me, it's always
Pancake
locked in
Tuesday.
as November 4th. And I'm sure
Okay.
some people think of Thanksgiving as being a very specific day. I don't. I think of it as floating, you know?
I sure don't.
Oh, sorry. You have Canadian Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
which is a real thing. I thought that was a joke. I thought Canadian Thanksgiving was a joke that people
No,
made
it's
up.
a real thing. It's in October. I think it's October 8th this year.
Are you
October
going
8th.
to celebrate?
I've never celebrated Thanksgiving.
Bare Naked Ladies had a great joke about that at a concert. They said they were talking about Thanksgiving, and they said, "Wait, Canadian Thanksgiving or regular people's Thanksgiving?" That was a great
It's
joke.
true. That's what everyone says to me.
Yeah.
So I might miss Thanksgiving this year. I'm thinking about going to Minecon, which is in Paris, like the
Oh,
weekend
Disneyland
after,
Paris.
after
from
Thanksgiving. So if so, I would go out there before.
Why would you miss Thanksgiving? What does it mean you miss Thanksgiving?
Because I'd have to
Be
fly out
thankful.
on Thursday to go
Yeah,
be there
it's
by.
that week.
Missing
Saturday.
Thanksgiving though.
Well, what
Yeah, what am I doing? Eat a fucking turkey on the plane?
Yeah, I bet they would do that.
Okay, can I get back onto Disney for something? You might go to game days out in California,
I
right?
might go to game days. If I go
We were
to
talking about
Minecon,
that.
I
Yeah.
won't go to game days.
I don't know what that
Okay.
is. What is game
Game
days?
Days is an annual thing that Mega 64 has,
Yeah.
where it's like a community meetup that we have, but they have all their forum members come down to Disneyland, and then they
I
have.
think
like,
it's November 18th.
It's November 18th or 12th. No,
No, it's
the
18th. It's later.
18th, yeah.
We should do it.
I
at
just
Six
loaded the
Flags.
Minecon site. We're gonna have to put this in the link dump. That is a kick-ass website. Look at this.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh,
Oh wow!
that's cool as hell.
Show it to the camera.
Yeah, here.
Well,
No, load it up. Show it to the camera. We have a computer hooked into the system.
Yeah, but he already has it loaded up on his.
That'd
I'm
be
just
much
gonna
better than.
describe
I'm just trying to make things go quicker.
It's like minecon.mojang.com.
That's
If
exactly
you all in the control
Sorry.
can get ready to cut to the computer here.
All right.
This is
And
cool.
there we go. Okay.
Hold on, wait, don't scroll yet. Wait till we get it on the feed here.
We'll see.
Brandon, if you could please pull
Slightly
up the
more.
computer feed.
Take your time, Brandon.
Are-
We're not waiting on
How
you.
excited are you guys
Don't
are going to show
rush
a website?
Brandon.
Don't.
not
Minecon.
gonna show it now.
More
He's
like
gonna
your
cut
con.
He's got to
He
find the
spilled
button.
coffee down himself and he's patting himself
Clearly.
down right now.
Oh, there we go. All right. We got a picture.
We got a picture.
Okay, good thing we have picture in picture. All right, here we go. You ready? Oh, so scroll down and look at that.
Oh, it's music coming from the site.
Ooh. Oh, hang on. I don't know where my scroll
Oh, a
wheel.
creeper.
I can't see my scroll wheel.
You saw a creeper.
What? It's what is it called? Parallax or what's the multi-plane thing called?
Perspective.
No,
So it's subduction.
So that's
it's hard to see, but like the background is moving at a slower pace than the front.
is that
That's
Disneyland Paris? You said?
Disneyland Paris?
Yeah.
That's the thing where like, if you're in a car and you look at a tree, everything in front of the tree is going one way and everything behind the tree goes another way.
No.
What?
No.
No, explain yourself. Go ahead.
So you're in a car,
Yes, I am.
going
Smart
down
car.
the road, and you look at something like just in the distance.
Right?
Everything in front of that will be moving past that object one way.
Yeah.
And everything behind it will be moving the other way.
Moving the other way.
Yeah. So you have object in the middle, stuff going like this
Yeah.
in front of it, and stuff going like this behind it.
So when I look at like mountains in the distance, they're moving away. They're moving with me.
Well, it depends where you look. If you look at the furthest object you can see, everything's moving one way in front of it.
Oh, that makes sense. I see what you're saying. Because it's very.
Do you?
No, I don't see that at all.
Okay, I was gonna say I have no idea what's going on.
All right, so Emmys. So a couple things that happened at the Emmys, which I thought were really interesting. They let you.
Sorry, Barbara just drooled all over.
Oh, did you? Nice job, Barb.
She's got alcohol running down her face right now.
First of all, Gus, can I get another beer?
Yeah.
There's
They
a
did
full bar
cut to
there,
me.
and the show started at 4:30 Pacific time, and we all had to be in our seats by that point. in time.
4:30
Pacific, yeah. And they shut down the bar at 4:30, and the bar
Lame.
didn't reopen again until 5:30. So it was shut down. Thanks for the very first part of the show. And then when it reopened, a bunch of really badass people were like, "Dee-dee." They all went
Yeah.
off, and people get out of their seats all the time at that show, all the time. Like people were like after an award or at a commercial break, people would just get up and go. Then when you go to come back, they won't let you in until the next commercial break. So they just stack up people in the entryways. So I guess people are taking their seats during a speech or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. So, and it was
They do that at hockey games too.
They do.
also did they really?
They do. They actually hold you so that you're not distracting the players.
Oh, that's cool. Well, they also do the thing where they have the in memoriam section where they
Yeah.
show everyone who died.
All the deads.
Yeah, and they literally said to the audience during that break, they said, "Do not clap during the in memoriam section. Only clap at the end. Don't
So-
clap for any individuals. Clap at the end."
At the actual award ceremony, is everyone paying attention to the awards, or is everyone just having a chat?
Kind of a
There's
little.
got to be awards that nobody gives a damn about.
Well, no, I mean it's like it's.
Well, they carved those out for the separate technical achievement awards the day before, right? Like the Oscars.
So a lot of them, but some of them are still not everybody's interested in.
There's a
So
funny.
my favorite thing about the Emmys was the picture Sofia Vergara tweeted about her wardrobe malfunction where her dress popped open.
Yep.
And you could see her butt.
Nice.
So she tweeted her own ass.
She tweeted it herself.
That's
I
awesome.
guess she figured that someone else was going to release it anyway. Maybe. So
Yeah.
why not just be
Do
on
you
top
think
of
it's
it?
better when celebrities do that to
Yeah,
themselves?
own it.
Well, no, like
That's like what I say when people are like, don't you ever get embarrassed when you're drunk? Don't you ever get embarrassed when you're naked in front of camera? I say, no, you just have to own it.
Yeah.
Well, that's like that one girl from
Work it, girl.
the drummer from Scott Pilgrim, who's married to Jay Baruchel or whatever his name, or Baruchel or whatever. She
Baruchel.
tweeted a photo of herself topless.
Yep.
That was meant to go, I guess, to just him. And she immediately, she deleted it and then immediately went like, "Well, I messed that up. Sorry." And it's like she kind of like just owned up to it, like, "Oh, it wasn't like, oh, what happened? I got hacked." It's like, no, she's like, "Yeah, I messed up.
Oops.
Whatever."
Yeah, it's
So-
way
Well,
better to do that.
just
That's
happened,
like,
right?
Yeah, that's like the best way to handle it though. It's like, oh, I got hacked. Or oh my God, my computer's been taken. It's like, no, just own up to it.
What else happened at the Emmys that you want to share? I want to hear all the dirt.
I mean, nothing. There was there wasn't anything in particular.
Any
was
crazy after parties you went to?
We went to the governor's ball afterwards, which was like the main thing. I think it's where they go. The statues they get are not personalized because they don't know who won. and then that's where they go to get their statues
Do
personalized.
they get a ticket? Do you know? Do they get a
I
ticket?
think they vouch for you if you have an Emmy.
Redeem 1 Emmy.
Did you see the picture of
I'm
Tom
the winner
Hanks?
of comedy writing. My name is Haywood Jablomi.
Do they like personalize it right there? Do they have like a guy who draws caricatures and personalizes your Emmy?
It's
He's
the
like,
same
hey,
dude
do you like roller skates?
It's the
You
same
like
dude who
soccer, don't you?
Who sews the names on the hats at Disneyland. Have you ever seen them do that?
Yeah.
Those people
Yeah.
are impressive, man. They can write in cursive with a sewing machine.
Have you seen those people on the street who can bend your name with a piece of wire just in about 10 seconds?
Yeah, I've
People on
seen
the street are
pictures of
fucking
that.
talented.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a piece of wire. Burnie.
Yeah, like the people who can like paint the lunar landscapes
Burnie.
with spray paint.
Yeah.
Those things look so shitty.
I have one of
I'm so
those.
impressed. I'm so impressed by them.
It's because you're so high from the spray paint fumes
Yeah.
being there. You think it's awesome. Like
Did
when I
you-
lived on the border, there were people in Mexico right across the border who would like write your name on a grain of rice and like make a necklace out of it. It's like, how the fuck did you do that?
Who the fuck knows?
So I had a
Also,
weird
why
thing
would you want that?
with an Emmy where to get my visa so I could come and work in this country, I had to get a load of letters of recommendation from people, people who are good in the industry that I'm in and won Emmys and stuff. And I worked with a guy who's won an Emmy. He's very proud of his Emmy. He was
Gavin
like-
actually had 2 Emmy Award winners vouch for him to come to America and get a visa.
Yeah, 3.
Was it 3
I think
total?
it was 3.
Jesus.
But this one guy, he was the guy who I filmed at his studio when I first started Slammer Guys. I'd film in there, and his Emmy's up on the shelf, and everyone knows about his Emmy. It's his big achievement in his career.
Yeah.
So the immigration lawyers were researching him because he had to write a letter for me. But
Yeah,
they
the
wanted to
Rooster
include,
Teeth lawyers.
Yeah, the Rooster Teeth lawyers had to write his career basically on a piece of paper, and it said winner of 2 Emmy awards and blah blah blah. And I read through it. I was like, yeah, it all seems right. You might want to change the bit where it says 2 Emmys. You only have 1 Emmy, right? He's like, yeah, I only have 1 Emmy. Yeah, I'll just get rid of that bit. And then like a week later, he emailed me back saying, shit, I won an Emmy 6 years ago. I didn't even know about it.
What? Yeah. Our lawyer found out that this guy had won a second Emmy.
Yeah.
He didn't even know it.
And the other guy I worked for also won an Emmy for the same show. There was 2 undiscovered Emmys. They just weren't told.
So were they super grateful
Yeah.
for you for like?
It was like,
your
I got
process?
2 Emmys, and now there's a picture of him holding both like this. He's like, yes. But yeah, it was awesome. And do you realize that if you don't go to the actual show to collect your Emmy, you have to buy it. You have to buy the statue.
I see you have to buy it even if you're there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He had to pay, I think $400 plus $100 shipping to get his Emmy from the US.
Yeah.
That's
would
fine.
totally do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll spend $500
And
for
he was
Emmy.
he was like looking at the piece of paper like, a lot of money for something that I didn't even know I had. Do it. and
yeah.
his Emmy showed up.
We need to actually start wrapping up.
Be
So
like,
if
I got
we-
my car towed for the amount of
you could have had a 1 1/5 Emmy
I
for the
could've.
amount of money you spent.
Did
You
you
know-
see that picture of Tom Hanks taping the Emmy to his
Jesus.
car?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, honestly.
It's gonna ignore what happened over there.
There's something weird about a film star taping an Emmy
I think
to
it's fucking
I
hilarious.
think it's funny too, but I don't know. It's just, there's always the thing that the Emmys are kind of less than the Oscars.
Damn it.
For those of you who aren't aware, the Emmys are the television awards in
Yes.
America.
But it's still better than the Golden Globes.
What's that?
Still better than the Golden Globes, though.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think Golden Globes are pretty prestigious.
So is there anything else we want to hit before we wrap up here?
I don't think so.
Normally we end with where do we want to go for lunch, but I mean it's kind of late. I guess we can talk about some dinner.
I want to
plans.
go to Roaring Fork.
I want to go to Home Slice.
Home Slice.
You've been
good.
talking about home slice all fucking
Do we
I'll
have
get
day.
any-
home slice.
I want some fucking.
Do we have any
pizza.
questions from anyone who fancies asking a good question?
Let's see. I'm gonna go into the chat right now and see if there's any good questions
I know
going on.
Jay or
I'm not
Dan
gonna-
would be happy to hear we're gonna have pizza.
I'm not gonna hold
Oh,
my
yeah.
That
breath.
guy is a pizza. We're pizza bros. I don't know if you know
He's
that.
having pizzas all day.
How do you
long.
become a pizza bro with you guys?
I can't tell you.
I
Exclusive
saw
club.
him when I went out to Los Angeles. I had dinner with him and Thalia, and we went to a place called Wurst Kucha in downtown LA, and they have, you'd love it, they have sausage, and like you can get, one of them was duck and bacon sausage, another one was, was crocodile, pork, and cheese.
That
And
sounds good.
Yeah, there's one that's rabbit and rattlesnake, and that's another one that I had too. Awesome.
I had
Like, they have
ostrich
great ones.
meat once. It was pretty good.
I had ostrich meat.
That's fairly common though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, what do I know?
Brandon and I ate kangaroo when we were in Australia. I didn't even think that was legal, but apparently it is.
Why wouldn't it be
You
legal?
ate roux.
They're
What's
all
that?
over, Gaff.
It's like their national. It's like on their flag, right?
They're on the road, dead.
What is illegal to eat in the UK? Like I can name something right off the top of my head that's illegal to eat in the US.
Humans.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know. What is illegal to eat? We
In
don't
the
really-
US, eagle.
That is funny. That's the exact thing I thought of too.
Yeah,
America.
you just know that's
So you
illegal
can't
to eat
kill an
eagle.
eagle.
Fuck yeah.
Well, you can't.
No.
Well, I'm not a bald eagle, but what about like a brown eagle or something else?
How would you go into a restaurant in America and order eagle? How would you do that?
I think in the state of Texas, well, in the state of Texas, you cannot legally sell deer. Like I think the venison you eat, it has to be like a specific type of deer that's not native to Texas. Like
So-
you cannot commercially sell white-tailed deer.
Are you trying to say that eating
for
eagle?
for meals.
Are you trying to say eating eagle is not legal?
Wow.
Okay.
Can't end on that. Josh, we cannot end on
We
that.
have to end though.
No, we can't end on that though. That's
I want
awful.
to talk about. I want to talk
Terrible
about.
I loved it, Barbara. That was awesome.
a terrible person.
There's a YouTuber that I've discovered who I'm into at the moment. Speaking of roadkill and dead animals,
I know this guy.
His channel's called Food for Louie.
Yes.
He eats the grossest things. Like he just walked up to a pigeon on the road, been hit by a car, and he's just like, he's just a normal looking dude. Just tucks in, just like eating out of this dead animal. He's like pulling
He's
it off.
fucking disgusting.
There was also another video which I just love watching stuff like this. I don't know why. It's like there's something buried within me that I like this. He took 10 mice from like a reptile food store, like that you feed your pets, like snakes, put them in a blender, blended them up, drank it in a cup.
Oh.
It's so disgusting that I just can't.
What's it called? Food for Louie?
Food for Louie.
I don't want to.
He's this English guy. I met him at VidCon.
Oh, he's British.
I love
Go
this
figure.
video.
I would
Absolute
eat 10
legend.
mice in a blender rather than fucking eat food in the UK.
Yeah, it was gross.
He eats a live tarantula.
Yeah,
at
he
one
just
point.
eats living stuff. It's gross.
That sounds something
That's
like
the guy. That's the guy.
I don't want to see.
Yeah, I never ever do this.
Oh my goodness.
I recommend the roadkill ones and
What's he eating there? What is that?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
move the scroll bar. Oh,
Oh.
that's the money shot right
Okay,
there.
I'm glad we're gonna end on this instead of the legal joke.
Where are we gonna eat?
Oh, there you go.
So
Yeah.
we'll put this in the
Let's-
linked up too.
Let's not eat where he's eating.
You know, listen, I'm with Gavin. Let's go to Roaring Fork. That was the restaurant that was right across the street from the old office.
That's
That place
where-
has great cedar plank salmon.
That's how I
It's
get.
also
That
where
place
Angry
has
Boobs
green-
used to
has
work.
great green chili pork.
It does.
Let's go there right now.
You know who would like to go eat with us there? Monty.
Monty
Monty
Ohm.
has been working on something very, very cool, which we can talk about soon.
so
We have two
excited.
things coming up we want to talk about. Something that Monty's been working on that's really awesome. And then also, and a whole team of people, but specifically Monty's been working on something cool. And then we have something right off screen over here that you can't see, which is very cool, and we're going to show it later.
Yeah,
But
we
it's
were
a-
hoping to show it this week. We just ran into a bunch of technical problems we had to iron out, so we had to get this working. But next week we'll have that working. It's not you, Kyle. I know you wish it was, but we're going to wrap up now. So I want to thank everyone for joining us for our inaugural
That was fun.
streaming podcast. We hope we'll have one every week. So join us every Tuesday at 7:30 Central Time, or otherwise just listen for the regular audio podcast on your normal channels.
Will the audio listeners be able to watch this at any point?
The sponsors will be able to watch it probably tomorrow, and we may open it up down the road.
Awesome.
All right.
So anyway, thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.